The poof.
Hello, everybody. Oh, they probably got that in the middle of that word. Hello, hello.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
How's everybody? There we go. How's everybody doing?
Woo!
Everybody having a good time
Switch
tonight?
Chat. Hey-o.
Welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Sra.
And we were talking about the cat shitting right there. As
Yes.
Yeah,
The
one of
cat-
them
the
often
poofy
chooses
cat
to.
is the shitting.
Yeah.
Every
One of them-
time we're going
They
to go
shift
record
more and
something-
more to the upstairs litter box when they haven't been cleaned because they don't like that one as much. So they
I
use
meant
the
to do that this
downstairs
morning. I
ones.
completely forgot.
You're gonna have a lot of chores to get done this weekend.
I know. I will.
Many things to scrub.
Thank you, Zima.
Yeah. I
She
think.
at least covers her poops.
Yeah. No kidding. The other two occasionally have issues with that. I think the biggest problem is they get fed literally moments before we start this. So they're
Yeah,
like,
I just went
eat,
and
time to
fed them,
shit.
yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
I literally just fed the cat. So
That's the strangest, like,
Dump time.
gotta make
is
space.
that a common thing for you guys? Because I feel like I never am in a situation where it's like, well, now that I've eaten, it's time to offload the shit that I was hanging on to this whole time.
It's like a 30 to 1 hour long, like...
yeah,
Our
know.
digestive systems are bigger too. Like
it never really, I mean, yes, it never really happens to me unless I'm like chugging.
shit. Get the fuck out of here,
Goji.
Goji, being a little bitch.
Goji attacking Zima.
Oh, God.
Like a jerk.
Goji's just a little bitch.
I apologize. I apologize for looking greasy. I didn't get it. I literally had no moments today to take a shower after
Yeah.
doing my workout. It was
It's been hot.
lockdown
I
time.
thought about doing my hair. Maybe I'll step away to do my hair at some point.
You look like a mushroom when you haven't. It's just like, whoop.
like a mushroom.
Yep. I told you this last time, Jeffrey. You
I
weren't
know,
listening
Sarah,
to me.
and it stuck with me and rang throughout my brain as I tried to go to sleep that night.
oh
And I
my
was
God.
like, oh no, I look like a mushroom. And Sarah's nice to me, and she said it
I think it's just
there,
that like
Jeffrey.
I
You'll
think
be
it's just-
attractive again one day.
one day.
Wow.
It's all
I
this
think it's mostly
undercut.
just your hair is doing two different things. You've got the sweep, like I got the sweep here, but then it's also trying to do the part down the middle, so this spot gets confused. So it just kind of does. I have that constantly, where it's just like a chunk just goes. I'm just going wherever.
I did a few hours of working outside before I came over, and then showered and didn't put any stuff in my hair. And it's
Yep.
all supposed to kind of go like
Just
this
wherever.
way, but you can see if it.
If
like,
you just leave it alone, it just kind of florps on both sides.
it almost
It's
looks
just
like I
floofs.
have like a '90s bowl cut,
Yeah.
but
That's what I
with
mean.
negative bangs, like where people.
No,
would
that's
normally
definitely.
have bangs,
If you had a
it's like-
flannel shirt, if you had a big like double oversized flannel
I think you
shirt
have
right
some
now,
of those you could lend him.
probably it would work. It would actually like legit look like you were on your way to a Nirvana concert
Yeah, it's
It would be
or
on
listen to some
purpose.
Third Eye Blind
supposed to be like that, but it's supposed to be not as poofy.
or Three Doors Down. Everything's the third
Yeah,
one.
I like 3 Doors Down.
I do too.
Yeah, I even
well,
like some Nickelback sounds.
We were
so, I mean,
remarking
here we
earlier
are.
before we actually start talking about
Yeah.
reasonable things. We were remarking earlier that I have this under boob sweat going on.
It's not that visible anymore.
It's not. Yeah, it's like there's like faint circly things you can kind of.
Yes.
It looks like someone took a football and went poof, poof, and like a little bit of like the brown, like darkish kind of thing is just kind of whoop, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but thank God we turned more lights on because when it was
It
darker,
did help, yeah.
it was like somebody took a magic marker and colored in.
Like,
parts
did you
of
want
my
to see
shirt.
Jeffrey's
The-
sweat?
Yes,
Here it
if
is.
You see me doing this, it's like no, I'm sweaty on
The biggest bummer to me, maybe I can. Oh, I'm gonna get creative and do this with my phone. The biggest bummer to me is that we have this light set up. Oh, it's not showing up properly at all.
It's just kind of.
All right, hang on. I'm gonna get closer. You can see
it's pink, green, and blue. It's
yeah,
the colors.
it's deep. You're not gonna be able to. Oh no, you can see it in like the reflection
reflection,
more than
yeah.
anything else. So hang on, let me turn off my camera. You can kind of see we got green and blue.
That's actually better that way. Yeah.
And it's hard to do this backwards, but there's some pink D-pad colors. And I was like, oh man, sweet, I'll set this up as a palette. That way when we're doing it, we can have like green lights and pink lights and blue. And it's just like, oh, it just comes out as white
yes.
because
Because
that's how
you're
light
combining
works.
lights.
It's
yes.
RGB.
Yeah, it's
Like,
RGB
you have to have,
and they're
like, one
floodlights.
set over here and one set like.
Well, the bigger problem is that they're not directional at all.
Right.
They are flat wash lights, so they will just merge immediately.
yes. Yes. True
Uh,
fact.
So that's kind of a bummer. But the hue lights do. The hue lights do slightly better for that.
But
I think I've shown these off. I've definitely shown these off before for like backgrounds of stuff, but I don't know if I think we've shown off the D-pad palette for these. I love this stupid toy of a light bulb fixture thing, and I want to get standing lights just to have more of this stuff going on. But here's our D-pad palette, which again looks like just gray, even though in here
Yes.
there's a pretty distinct green, cyan, magenta,
Yeah, we
green
got a
going
definite
on.
like blue,
Well, I
green.
currently-
It just looks like
pinkiness.
it just looks like I turned the lights out.
Dramatically lit.
We do. This is a
So you
pretty
can kind of see
vibrant-
like on my shoulders the like pinky
vibrant
color.
purple. Here's the red background. This is visible. This looks pretty good.
Dude, you have no idea. I am so excited for once we like own a house,
Ooh,
getting
there's a
the
good
like
one.
super the like light bulbs that you can also be like now you're
Sorry.
listening to the music and you're also like
Yeah.
pulsing in time with like the moment I have my own house, I'm gonna be like yes, putting those in everywhere.
First
Also
step-
the speaker shower thing because I'm going to do
First
that.
step lights,
like
second step
yup,
sewer.
everywhere.
Well, so all right, there is.
yes, Sarah's rave house. Yes.
I'm gonna do
Yes.
something real quick here, and I promise I'll put it back, and we'll get to the actual stuff here. But I'm gonna go into nightlight mode on these.
Yes,
so-
this is when he goes
which
the
is when
dim
it's-
streaming sort of.
Yes, the lowest possible setting. But I'm gonna set this to, let's do
Rainbow rave time.
fireworks. So you'll notice
Eee!
every time we talk,
It does a thing.
which is kind of fun. I think we
Yay!
did something like this at the end of the Mario Galaxy 2 stream.
Did we? No, I think we just turned on party mode.
It might have been
fully.
this rhythmic
Yay!
Northern Lights, which this is some nice.
Oh, we just turned on like
YouTube.
other lights. We just had like lasers and shit.
This is some like post 2018 YouTube commentary channel lighting vibe going on here, and I'm for it. Anyway, let me put this back to normal. and
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Alex was like, "Oh, that's not disorienting at all."
Yeah.
Like, right? Yeah.
Constant color.
I look at
scroll.
myself as opposed to the camera on the screen, just because that's where my eyes fall. I'm sorry.
But yeah, we're doing the normal off-topic discussion before we actually get into it. So my
Hey, don't be like that.
my
Final
underbreath
biscuit.
sweat can dry. No,
Oh wow,
see
it's
how-
way more
see how
distinctive in
obvious
this
it is
lighting.
now?
Oh, was
Light
it?
is- thanks,
Look at
Rick.
that. Yeah. Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's
Poke your
gone.
underboobs.
See, it's nothing now. It was just a trick of the light.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of backing up slightly to Steve. Yeah, and I'm sure that you've experienced it too. There's a lot of mundane shit that you suddenly get really excited about. Somewhere in the transition from 20s to 30s, where it's like, oh man, I really love that this is a thing, and it's just like I would never have cared about that shit before.
Yeah, it's
The
because
socks.
you become in
Socks are the
charge of a lot
first-
more of your life, I think.
Yeah, socks are the first step in that transition. The moment you realize that you actually like getting socks as gifts, and you have socks that you
still
like
don't.
the most.
I still don't
You'll get
like
there.
getting socks as gifts, and I don't understand why you're so
You
excited
also
about
basically don't wear socks unless you absolutely have to.
it. Yes, because I believe being barefoot is the way to live.
Which is fine, but also you're biased against socks to start with, so that kind
I
of
mean, no, I've got a kind of sock that I like at this point that I found on Kickstarter, but like I'm
Lawnmower
still not
sharpening.
excited about getting random gift socks because they're going to be random shitty socks that I don't, know the quality of.
I don't know. Your mom gets me amazing socks. Her mom literally does at this
I literally
point.
just give him my socks that she gets
She
me.
gets these amazing alpaca wool socks, and I am in love with them. And I wear them until they literally fall apart, and then go and throw them away because they're dead.
I am
But
literally barefoot unless there is snow actively on the ground. And I'm still going to be barefoot inside almost constantly. Though I do have these fuzzy slipper socks that like have the like nose
grip.
slip grippy stuff on
Yeah.
the bottom, and those are great in the winter because like those are pretty solid.
kind of sounds like Sarah's excited about
but-
socks.
Like I said, very specific socks. Like I don't
That's-
want just
that still
random
counts.
ass socks.
That still counts.
Legit.
No, but my specifically,
can't
I said I'm
imagine-
not excited about random gift socks because they're not the type of socks I want.
I
They're
can't
free
imagine
socks,
20-year-old me giving even a minus amount of a shit about socks with grippies on them. But by the time I was like 26-ish, I would have been like, yes, I'll take those. Thank you. Those are great. I don't know why.
I mean, I tried the kind that didn't have grippies for a while, and then I nearly killed myself multiple times in tile kitchen floors. So
With the
I
grippy
decided
ones?
no, without the grippy
without
ones, because
them,
I got
yeah,
some
okay.
without grippy things. Then I was like, wow, that was a bad life choice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
socks-
die.
socks are-
I should get socks with grippy things.
Socks are pretty much meant for rug and carpet rooms indoors if you're going to wear them. They're like tile floors you pretty much want to avoid with socks, just in general.
Yeah, hardwoods, laminated hardwoods.
I have a collection of gay friends. They're just not rich. Can I still qualify?
I'm trying to think.
Barefoot Contessa.
I'm just
I
saying,
love
like.
Ina Garten.
Oh, my God.
Just fucking doesn't give a fuck. That is a perfect transition.
Yeah.
To start discussing.
Let's talk
Hey,
about
segue.
let's talk about the status of stuff. The status report. How have we
Stat-
never called it that? That's so
Sit
obvious.
What?
Sit rep. Just the status report. Like not like that's like oh shit we got to brand that, but it's just like I don't think we've ever called it that. It's like it's such a simple term for it.
D-pad.
We used to. So this very kind of video used to be a video format that was pre-recorded, and I think we did like one
it's
of
just
them.
The world, Alex.
And then we did one of them called State of the D.
That's the United States.
There might have been actually no. There were a few called State of the D.
State of the D.
I don't know. Let's see. State of the D.
Maybe we avoid State of the D as the title for these pages.
Oh yeah, we haven't used that since like 2015.
Status report.
I
Ben
think.
is asleep. Usually, but not this time.
No, he's in
actually.
the middle of finishing up a raid. I think.
D&Ding or World of Warcrafting
I
or
believe it's D&D. I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so
State of the Waddle Dee.
I'm just gonna walk down the list as I have it on here. Ring Fit Adventure.
Ooh, I like that. State of D-pad.
State of Depad.
I like that.
It.
I like that.
it.
Cute.
That works. Would it be like lowercase d apostrophe pad?
I feel like you can kind of go either way with that.
You know?
I don't know.
Ring Fit Adventure usually doesn't get much time in this because there's not a lot to talk about. It's going through. I'm in World 20 right now.
My name's Rick, and my goal is to use Ring Fit Adventure to lose weight.
Yep. I actually talked about that today in today's video, but like, you know, if it weren't for the state of things right now, that would maybe be more achievable over the course of it, but there's so much that kind of makes that really slow down. Where I almost at one point debated changing that phrase to be something like, you know,
get in better shape,
or like my goal
muscle.
is to like maintain or something, like I don't know, but it was like that's not a very exciting thing to
it made me giggle.
Bring people in with, so I don't know.
It's a penis ejaculating the word pad.
Oh God.
How to get demonetized on YouTube?
Yeah,
forever.
immediately. But yeah, no, it's going pretty well. I am now
equals D squiggle. No.
I am now 28. Today was the end of week 28 of Ring Fit Adventure. It was 130 of these. Yeah, which actually makes it now I keep getting it wrong. I think this is now the fifth most episodes ever produced for a series on our channel. The four that come above it, I'm going to try to get this right, are Pokemon Moon with 134 episodes, Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Insurgents, each with 138, and Breath of the Wild with 165, I think. I think that's right. And we just passed Mario Odyssey, which is also 130, but Ring Fit Adventure had 2 more videos that are just not day number, so it's technically more.
I would imagine that Ring Fit Adventure is probably the most calories you've burned out of playing all those games. Most likely.
More than likely, though, depending. I mean, some of those Pokemon games, Insurgents, I may have sweated off more weight.
That's possible. You might have lost a lot of water weight.
Legitimately. Oh, Moon has more than Sun? Oh, how did I have that? I don't know why I assumed that Sun was more than Moon. I figured that... Because, I mean, I guess then whenever we're able to get to the post-game, Sun will advance past Moon.
It says Moon is 138, Sun is 134. And that you are right.
No, I had it the other way.
No, Moon is more than Sun.
Yeah.
Oh.
I had Sun over Moon.
Yeah.
But, okay. For some reason, I thought Sun was already ahead, and John doing a post-game would extend that further, but I guess I had that backwards. That's okay. Doesn't matter. The games are there. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's those ones.
Yeah. It'll be the last...
Moon is way bigger. I can see it.
Yeah, obviously.
It'll be at that point I think longer than any John focused series at that point, because then Sun. I mean, for a while.
The J-pad.
If we get to do the post game, then it might get past again. There's not a ton of Ring Fit Adventure left. I don't think. It's probably something in the ballpark of like 20 to 30 episodes, somewhere around there. I've been guessing.
Like 22.
I think there's 23. I guessed a while back,
vague.
somewhere around like week 10 to 12. I think I guessed that it'd be in like around 160 to 180. I think, but I've been kind of focusing on 160. And I think that's going to be fairly accurate. It may not even wind up beating Breath of the Wild, which I find hilarious.
No,
so.
I mean, is this just to complete the story of the game and do all the
complete
quests
a single run through?
Yeah, single run through. There is like a new game plus that. Maybe next year I'll do a similar kind of thing for, or something different for it. I might not come back to it at all. I don't really know. Okay. I'm not jumping into that as soon as this is done because I would like to catch up on sleep, and I would like to have my days be a little less focused on Ring Fit Adventure. It's been a really positive experience. I feel stronger. I definitely like have toned up in various ways and stuff.
You've been talking about your biceps.
Yeah, my arms have felt more toned, and like my chest has felt a little bit more toned.
You were talking the other day. You're like, I'm always walking. Like
I found that now
better posture.
I'm walking like I guess you're supposed to, which is like you're auditioning to be a superhero.
No, you shoulders,
which is shoulders back,
chest out.
Yep. And I never walk like that. And all of a sudden I notice I'm doing that a lot more. Like not intentionally. It's just kind of happening. But yeah, I don't know. So like.
We couldn't take Wii Fit with our fragile emotional constitutions because it just tells you you're obese every single
man. Low key, that was my real goal for this thing. Was I'm happy with honestly any amount of weight that I lost, and I've lost about 20-25 pounds already, and I'm planning on doing more to continue that. But the ultimate goal was like if I can get on camera fucking Wii Fit Plus to not do blah 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 ding like
to play.
Thanks,
it's the sound. Fit. It's the sound of a doctor's office scale giving out, and then that last little at the end of it. Like
no, it's fatty tuba. It's the equivalent of you stepping on the doctor's scale and them like pushing the 200 thing up, and then the 50 weight. And then looking at you and being like, and then pushing it again, and it still doesn't go, and they're like, and then they go to the small one, and they get more than halfway, and they're like,
and it's like, trying not to look at them.
There it is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, well, shame is an effective motivator.
You know what the saddest part is?
I feel like when you're basing it purely on BMI, it is so not accurate.
BMI is an inaccurate measurement to start with.
Don't know much about
it. There are ways to make it work.
Terrible one.
Yeah, but it is. On the whole, it's pretty inaccurate.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Wii Fit Plus thinks that my target weight is like 165. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah. That's not happening ever. I've gotten down to the 190s.
I think you might die.
I got down to, I think 192 was my lowest weight, and that was right in time for all the like time travel shenanigan videos, which was awesome because I was like, I look great, and I'm gonna do a bunch of this weird like filmy shit for this. This is the perfect timing for that crossover. Yep. But the worst part is I have done Wii Fit and gotten below the obese thing to just overweight. And you want to know what it does?
What?
Instead of going blom, 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 ding, it goes bump, ba-da-na-na-na. It's just it's a slightly less blatantly fuck you sound effects.
There's no ding, and it's not a tuba.
Yeah. I think in the middle it goes like dun-da-da-da-da-dum, bing, like if you're the correct weight.
Yeah, the correct weight.
If you're underweight or like morbidly unobese or something, it probably is like a tin can going like ding 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 bonk like or something. Like I don't know what those are going to be like, but they have to be equally as kind of offensive as the fat tuba.
Like put her down. Like,
oh my god.
And I agree, SD Hero. Like you don't want to start off being like, well, you're just fat and terrible, aren't you?
That was
like
you suck.
The first. Well, the worst part too is, and it's not in the videos because it's like a separate sound file, and I didn't feel like doing that much work with like the editing every week with it. But like, so it doesn't just go blah 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 bing, it then goes that's obese. Like, shut your fucking mouth, game.
Just in case you didn't get it.
Thanks.
From our sound effect clue.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's like I know.
You are so fucking fat. Turd.
Yeah. And I think for overweight, it just goes overweight, and it's like, oh, now you're disappointed in me. Not just like, haha. It's like, I'm like, all right, cool. But I remember the first day I picked it up, way back in like 2010. Actually, no, earlier. It would have been like 2007, 2008. I think it was the same apartment that I had with high school friends coming into college, like. So it would have been, it would have actually been like, oh no, it wasn't coming into college. That was like junior year. So that would have been, about 2007, 2008. But yeah, I remember the first time I stepped on it, just the blah, 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 and like one of the roommates was like, well, that's rude.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, wow, that's a harsh start.
No punches.
Oh my God.
This is the one thing to be like, this is where you're at, this is where you should be. And like that, another thing to be like, you suck.
Yeah, I'm not like particularly hurt by it. It's just one of those like, it's just like it happens and you're like, okay,
really
cool.
Motivating me here, game.
Yeah,
cool.
that after a while it did become the biggest motivator for me. The first time I lost weight using Wii Fit was the first time that needle was not on the top of the thing. I was like, oh, it's on. Oh, we're doing this now.
See,
but the meter is like that. Top bit is like 1.5 BMI. So once you get it, it's like wee, like it's straight off there, and like you couldn't have maybe made that more of a gradient. So it's not like everything above a 29 isn't even visible or whatever.
I mean, I never got into the Wii Fit thing. I mean, despite not having a Wii, but like fitness games overall, because I know that no matter how fat I get, I could still beat a Nintendo Wii in a fist fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it depends. Have you
yes.
seen what happens to those
I never feel
TVs?
threatened by its shame.
You ever seen what happened to those plasma TVs, dude? I don't know.
When somebody like
Spider-Man's it out at it, yeah.
Oh god, the Wii controllers, yeah.
Those videos were all the rage back in 2007. Watching the compilations from like E-Bomb's world of like, here's all the stuff going on with Wii's, and it's and like $1,000 TVs destroyed in a moment because someone got too excited Wii bowling,
and they forgot to put their wrist strap on.
Yep.
Which is exactly they warn you. They're like, yo, put your wrist strap on because you're probably going to fuck it at some point.
Which is amazing to me because I have never felt like a Wii mode was going to slip. Ever.
I have fucked it occasionally, generally with games where you're faking throwing something.
Well, yeah, you just hold on, you keep your finger near the trigger, and then you got a grip on it.
Look, sometimes you confuse your brain enough that you try to actually throw the thing.
Is there a Wii mode over there somewhere? We need to do a quick science experiment. Yeah.
I'm just saying that it's possible to fuck it
if
you're getting very into it.
You do
underneath the table. That was very convenient.
This, and then you can do motions, and it doesn't slip because you got this nice complicated grip.
I'm just but like
you just do this.
You're generally doing like a let go grab thing with some of the triggers.
Oh, there's the lights. Green. Blue.
I mean, yes,
Pink.
the Wiimote condom thing adds a lot of grip.
Third grader
Absolutely.
in physics class.
I just noticed it while I was messing with it. I was like,
class.
let's see if we can bounce it again.
Did you know that mirrors reflect stuff?
But the thing is, it's like when you're using like the trigger as your release, right? Which some games do, and you're getting really into it and possibly drunk, I would not be shocked about oh shit, oh no. Like,
I bet a lot of
drunk Sarah has done that.
I bet a lot of those.
This is why you use wrist straps.
Destroyed.
This is why you use wrist straps.
With Wiimotes were because they were drunk or otherwise impaired. Like, I'm sure some of them were just overzealous.
I threw them on when I was drinking just in case, but it never even came close.
Look, maybe you're just used to only using controllers to throw things instead of throwing actual objects in the real life. But, some of us do things in real life.
That was almost the English, too.
I
played baseball and football. I am good with throwing stuff.
Yeah, you got to let go of the object.
Like, this never bugged me, and I also like that I can emote, like, if I'm mad.
Yeah, no wrist strap shaming, Rick.
I'm not wrist strap shaming.
My elbow.
I'm just saying I was surprised that it was ever a thing in the first place. Oh, my God.
1 point Wiimote, 0 points Jet.
Ring Fit Adventure is a thing that's happening.
Check mark. That's enough about Ring Fit Adventure.
I think the next hangout that we have will probably be the last time we have anything to say about it in progress. I think
one day my knee will heal from Rick crippling me, and I'll be able to play it again.
Yeah, one time she was being mean, so I snapped her leg over my knee like I'm Bane. Just to show her.
But look at my crippled status.
Oh my God. Well, then maybe somebody shouldn't have tried to be sexy and dip somebody, and
that was you.
That doesn't sound right. That was somebody else.
I have no comment.
Literally, I think we've explained this before. I went to go dip her because we were on the dance floor, and
we were drunk New Year's Eve, right? It was
we
drunk
were
dancing.
very drunk.
We were very drunk New Year's Eve.
And I went to dip her, and I dipped.
There was no warning. There was no anything. I was like doing dancing, and then suddenly I was in pain and on the ground, and there was a pop noise.
This is shortly after doing a little like salsa style dancing, where the direction given was like, "Hey, you got to lead." And I'm like, "All right."
But we weren't doing that anymore.
So we were doing it moments before.
I will
also drinking.
I will submit this.
It's also a very different thing.
I have dipped like many people while dancing. Some like just gentle, and some people who like are more dance capable, or in shows where you have to do it very showily, like to dip a person during a dance. And I am like 99 for 100. But the last
that one miss is always
the last time that I dipped somebody dancing during a wedding, we got to the bottom and they went noodly, and I was like, uh-oh. And
You
so
can't go noodly.
We went to the dip, and I just put them down on the ground because they like really leaned into it, and I wasn't totally prepared for an intense commitment.
Oh my god!
And at the bottom, they didn't stay like board straight, so I couldn't lift them up. They just kind of
that's an important part of that formula. That didn't come up for ours, but like you'd need to like be pretty firm.
Well, my problem was I was like facing the other direction, doing a different dance thing, and then suddenly you threw my entire body weight the other way against my knee.
You were about like 90 degrees the wrong direction from where I wanted you, from where you would have needed to be for me to do it correctly.
Which is the problem. Knees don't bend that way.
Oh, can I turn up Jeff?
Slight additional volume on me, I guess.
That mic?
The point of that story is that you can be so consistent with doing a dip or like some kind of cool dance move, but then one time for whatever dumb reason, you might fuck it.
I mean, it's not like we'd been doing dancing dips like ever before.
Yeah, we didn't. I think we'd done it literally once ever before that.
Luckily, my injuries were only emotional because I did it in the middle of a wedding.
And you just kind of put the person out.
Everybody looked at me, and the person I was
what did you do, Jeff?
Looked at me from the ground on their back, up at me, and were like, what the fuck?
What did you do, Jeff?
And everybody turned around to see a woman on the ground with her hands up saying, what the fuck, and me standing over her, and like...
Oh my god!
It was
I at this wedding? This sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
pretty sure I saw this happen.
Yeah. Anyway, that's enough about that. No need to comment any further on what I was talking about.
Oh my god!
Let's move on. to...
Ring Fit.
Wrong button.
Is over. It wasn't wrong button. I just had to tab over twice. Soul Calibur 2. We did Soul Calibur 2. It's done. At least as done as it's gonna be. It was like such a like extra little thing where it's like, oh, we got some time for that. We got like just enough space to squeeze a little something in there before some other thing. And it was like, cool, all right. And we got through there. And I think it's the first fighting game we've done that doesn't have like a closing like fuck around versus mode episode. But part of that was because it was like, it didn't seem necessary.
No, that's mostly I think because Weapon Master mode had enough meat to it to feel like the story mode.
Right. An arcade mode of a game is short enough where it's like, oh, we did 6 episodes of that. Let's do one more just so it doesn't feel like we're just
Soul
dashing
Calibur
away from it.
2 Weapon Master is great. It's no Urgi's like adventure mode.
Yeah.
But it was good.
It sounds like it's the least involved of the progression of story modes in Soul Calibur also. Like 3 and 4 I think have more involved things going on.
Yeah, I think I've played 3 and 4
way
a
off
good
the
deal,
camera
but
here.
not like particularly as much as number 2. So
all right, Webmaster didn't take less episodes in the arcade.
That's true.
MVC. I mean, part of that came down to resetting the game a few times because I don't know why. Ultimately, I think it was one of them was because we just ran out of time and Ben had something to do, and we were like 2 matches in, and I'm just like, let's just start over on the next attempt.
It also should be considered that Weapon Master mode is meant to be done
pretty breezy
bunch of times.
Yeah,
because you got weapons
twice
for Link.
Yep.
You did not get weapons for
anybody else. I mean, we
20,
found some, but
and
we didn't buy any.
Naturally, but a lot of things people have to go in as a character, do a quest, particularly.
Yeah, the ultimate goal of Weapon Master is to complete it 100%.
Yep, to
eventually.
get all the weapons for all the characters.
And I was not really interested in that.
And that's where it gets long. Like, I enjoyed doing it as Raphael. I enjoyed doing it as Nightmare. But then eventually I was like, who the fuck do I want to play next? Like,
that's the thing is like, do I actually
still
care?
Money. And like,
do I actually care about getting all of Killick's weapons?
Yeah.
No.
Well, and it's cool, like, when Dave and I would play versus mode and extra versus where you can choose your weapon per character. It was fun, and we unlocked all the weapons. We paid for the ones for the characters we wanted to use in the battle.
Yep.
But then, if one of us, if we were doing randoms for whatever reason, we got Astaroth, it was like, well, I guess I'm using the default weapon.
Yeah, big old axe guy. Yep. Cool. All right, let's do that. Also, there's some weird shit that game does. Like, there were at least 2 missions. There were at least 3 missions that had win conditions that were not made clear that literally get you to other missions. Like, there were missions we couldn't get to because of unclear bonus win conditions of other stages, including there's an entire subchapter you can't get to functionally until you've beaten the entire rest of the game. And it's listed as subchapter 2 out of 3. We opened subchapter 1 and 3, but subchapter 2, You need to be level 72. You need to be an Edge Master. And the only reasonable way that that's going to happen...
Don't mind me just watching my dance party.
Okay. The only reasonable way to do that is to literally clear everything else and then grind a bit.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to just get there.
Yep. So Weapon Master is intense. It's a fun first, second, maybe third playthrough, but it's after that, it's like...
Yeah. I mean... I don't think it's ever going to come back. Every once in a while, if we don't 100% a game, someone asks if we're
Calibur too.
Yeah. Sometimes, well, that's my point. Is sometimes people ask like, "Hey, you didn't finish this, so you're going to come back to it." And it's like,
I see.
I don't think it's really necessary for this. I don't see a reason why we need, because all that is really there outside of subchapters is the exact same battles, but with a different with different match conditions. And I was like.
Now, if we were playing Dead or Alive 2, I would have cause to say playing through the story the arcade mode as every character has a different set of cutscenes between every battle.
Every single, so everyone gets their own little story mode,
has
basically.
A story playing through
That's kind of
what
nice.
happens. It's not exactly a novel, but
yeah.
But for this game,
there's nothing.
Just playing Weapon Master.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're playing as required characters in the thing.
I think it's usually more of like how interesting is the 100% Elk Sprit. It's
that's a part of it too.
Always, right? It is mildly arbitrary.
Yeah,
it's slightly arbitrary.
Arbitrary in that some portion of it is how much do we want to do it? How much?
How much are we interested in playing the game?
Yeah, how much do we want to do it?
About it?
How interesting is it?
Yeah, if there's
also,
actual like cool story plot epilogue things, then like that's what makes it a lot more worth it.
Is it
right?
something that has been seen much on the internet? There's a few times we do 100% of things, and it's like there's not a lot of this going around. We may as well
sometimes
cover
they
it.
Get dedicated just to get it on there, like with the Sonic Pinball.
Yeah, we straight up figured out how Moonzone worked before anybody else on the internet. That was a nice moment. I keep forgetting that we did that.
They're
there,
not
Jeffrey.
A nice moment.
I keep forgetting
the PTSD will fade one day. They're there.
Among our like random accolades for random shit, and it's like, oh yeah, we did a Michael Jackson video. That was pretty cool. And like, oh, we built a really good relationship with like the Mega Man Fully Charged people and all that stuff. I never remember. It's like it's way lower on the totem pole in terms of like who gives a shit. But it's a mechanic from Sonic Pinball Party that nobody figured out quite how it worked. And then we were like, oh hey, wait, it's that. And I'm like, oh okay. So it's kind of neat. I don't know.
It's a nice mark to have, but you're right, you're a little bit right in saying that 100%ing things is arbitrary.
Yeah,
it is.
It is very subjective to what's going on at the time. It's very. There are times where like literally the mood that we're in on a given weekend can define whether or not we're going to bother. So I don't know.
I don't know why, but I can't see nobody's messages anymore in the chat.
Yeah,
they're all just coming out as like gibberish.
Yeah. But yeah, so really we have something cool, but I'm not going to say anything more about that because I like surprises. So.
Yep. Is this the Zelda surprise or different surprise?
Zelda, yeah. Yep, Zelda. So let's see. After that we have Mega Let's Play. So SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos.
Did I miss the...
Nope, we're not talking about it.
That? Okay.
We're specifically, I literally just said.
Right, no, I was just like, really? You're not going to... You have it written down on there.
I know, because that's my notes for me, for my day-to-day.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
That's why I was...
we got to get in Rick's head.
Oh, my God. But yeah, SVC Chaos. We already played through that whole thing. That one's also not...
We're supposed to get special secret insider knowledge.
Not this one.
This video goes out to everybody. So
I mean, eventually.
Tomorrow.
Eventually.
Oh my God. SVC Chaos we already completed. And that one's another one we're not going to have a versus mode for, just because I don't know. I feel like the closing versus mode again kind of arbitrary. When sometimes it feels right, sometimes it doesn't. I think Marvel vs. Capcom can be a fun time for that because it's not. I'm not going to say it's a party fighting game by any stretch. But there is a quick pick it up and go kind of feel to it sometimes. I don't know. It's not as... It feels like they're less frequently as mechanically nuts.
Well,
SVC Chaos, I still don't understand how that fucking game works.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, and obviously I didn't put my hands on the controller at any point. So, I've played Marvel vs. Capcom. I've played a number of those style of fighters. Like
everyone has their own combos, sure, but the basic mechanics are there.
Yes,
like fairly uniform.
But the thing is, like I never really grasped the game as you were playing through it, and being limited to just 0 and not looking up move lists and practicing ahead of time.
To answer the Golix, by the way, yes, I did, and I was still that confused with the game. I read up on the controls before we started that game. It's a confusing-ass game.
And yeah,
it does not help. It's shocking how little it actually helps to know that stuff.
It doesn't feel like really charming. For some reason, the battle seems a lot less impactful for some reason.
Because it's best 2 out of 3.
The color palettes...
Oh, you mean visually?
Yes, visually impactful. The color palettes are like muted and browns and dark and like,
there's
Marvel vs. Capcom.
There's like 2 arenas that look nice in that whole game.
But even just, the animation is fine.
Mars People is cool.
But Mars People is probably MVP so far.
They were adorable. I saw those pictures.
Spaghetti monster. I love it.
Green spaghetti alien guy.
Isn't every real fighter best 2 out of 3? I mean, Marvel vs. Capcom is just one match. One and done. SVC is 2 for 3.
Yeah, but
Soul Calibur.
MVC has a built-in structure of 3 fighters. It is a longer and more
it's broken down differently.
Fight. Yeah.
But in a way, that's almost best 3 out of 5 in that one. Marvel vs. Capcom 1 is sort of a best 2 out of 3.
Right, but you can beat somebody having full health 1/1 character and having beat their 3 champions down to a quarter health.
Yeah, it's not exact. It's not exact. But you're getting essentially 3 wins in that match.
Yeah. I mean, and that's one of the reasons I like Marvel vs. Capcom's battles, because it's evolving. It's like, oh, I'm getting fucked up as Jill. Time to switch to Iceman.
Right. And I'm not saying that it's that it's not okay for it to be best 2 out of 3. I think it's more just like we transitioned over from one match, one result to best 2 out of 3, which does change things because it means that you actually have to really be on top of your shit to progress.
Yeah.
I really love how much, you know what it is? Because I'm kind of sitting on the back support of this.
The
I'm like, man, I love how I'm just like this on this chair. It's like, oh yeah, because the lumbar support is in the wrong spot, so I'm sitting down weird. There we go. And I'm still kind of leaning back. I think that's just the angle the camera's at. I'm just like, wow, this is an unflattering angle for me. Y'all like that, right? Yeah.
Fighting game summer is finally over. It's not. I want to play Dead or Alive 2. I'm telling Rick this for the first time right now, but I really want to play Dead or Alive 2. There's no relation to anything whatsoever.
Yep.
But it's a fun-ass fighting game.
The short answer, by the way, is no. The fighting game summer is not finally over. There is more.
That was to me. I was going to be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Jeff.
Short answer is fuck you.
No counterpoints, no logical reasoning.
Just no.
Short answer, no.
Nope. What we'll do is we'll do a Let's Play of us watching Dead or Alive the movie and then not touch anything.
And then we'll just laugh at Jeff's pain.
Wow, look at him. He's got a painted rhino horn hair. Okay, that was fun. Goodbye.
Yeah, whatever. Me and I'll play by myself.
But yeah, so no, there's some more fighting games. They're not consecutive. I would have to look at the schedule. I don't have it memorized, but
lies.
I don't think we have much in the way of consecutive ones.
Yeah, DOA on 360.
I would have to double check though. There's a couple spots where they do get a little bit clumped together. We're in one right now.
Did you ever play Beach Volleyball ST Hero? We're not gonna play that on the channel.
You mean porn mode?
No,
it's jiggle mode. There's a difference.
No, it's Cheesecake the game. But also the volleyball was really hard. Don't get me wrong.
Would it be volley cake or cheese ball?
I'm sure it did.
I think we'd have to call it cheese ball.
Cheese ball.
Cheese ball.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we fell way off track. But yeah, so
fighters in relation to SVC Chaos.
I think we'll be starting the next game this weekend. I don't know if we'll do the whole thing, but we'll be starting up our next Mega Man thing this weekend.
Exactly, Final Biscuit.
Nice. And I guess that's kind of it there. I guess relatedly, Star Force. We have beaten the final boss of the. We've beaten the boss.
We kept that joke going after.
Oh my god! Oh yeah!
I yelled every time the bus came into the screen.
We have beaten the final boss of the game and are going to be transitioning into post game. There is really not much post game,
as far as we know.
Yeah, it seems like out of the 3 of them, this is easily the smallest post game and the least involved. The fact that battle cards don't have code letters is going to be a huge benefit to us.
There we go. Now I can sit up.
Nice. There we go.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different little lever
figured out the
things on the
controls.
chair.
Wait, is this?
Maybe.
Yeah, hang on. Can I?
Then come back up.
Perfect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oops.
Sorry, I completely interrupted by messing around with the mechanics.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Got it. We got it. Yeah, Star Force, we're headed into the post game, though we've got a lot of episodes of main game to come first.
Yes. We got on the horse and we rode.
Wild ending.
Recording section. Yeah.
Very weird. Like, all of us, it's like Gilbert and Sullivan levels of like, oh, yeah, by the way, we solved this. I was like, oh. Okay.
Did you then? Cool.
Neat. Like, a problem happens, then it's kind of like, if you believe, and then a thing happens, and then suddenly credits are happening before that resolves, and you're like, wait, what? No, hang on.
Yeah, there were a lot of red herrings that we kind of held on throughout watching the plot evolve that we kept expecting to come in, and then they didn't, and then something else happened, and then it got resolved. And
you're like, whoa, all right.
Oh, shit. Shit's happening. We were wrong completely.
So, yeah. I have my list, my handy-dandy list already written up.
Yep.
For where is literally, for anybody who wants the breakdown of what the tasks we have to accomplish are, functionally it's get all the chips, beat a secret boss.
Yep.
And you can only get to the secret boss by getting all the chips. And getting all the chips involves beating all the the FME's hardest forms, which is another icon on the title screen. So literally, get all the chips, beat a special boss. And we're done.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of complexity going on there. It's not like, all right, now we have to do this boss rush, and we have to do all 6 bosses in under 3 minutes total, but they don't tell you where you're at. And if you S rank, then you have to like.
So the help missions are like a discussion.
We do have. There is
like,
at least one that is mandatory.
Yes. But like, hot damn, there's a lot of them, and a lot of them sound dumb as hell.
I think what'll likely happen is to give a general gist of the order of operations on this. It's probably going to be there is a post game area. We're going to explore that first as much as we can. There's doors that block you if you don't have enough like cards and things. Then it'll be so post game area. Then it'll be go and hunt down FMEans because we're going to have to do that anyway. And we got cards to get.
Or not even the refights. Necessarily. Some of them we haven't even fought yet.
If we still have stuff to find at that point, maybe then we do a couple other missions that aren't the one required one, just because it'll be something to do alongside finding other stuff. And some of those rewards may actually be those cards.
Maybe.
And some of those rewards can be traded in at the card trader. And if I remember correctly, after a certain point in the Battle Network series, through Star Force, the game does try to prioritize cards that you don't have.
You stuff you don't know.
Yeah, like it like rolls the dice for a rarity. At least in Battle Network 6, what it did was it rolls the dice for a rarity level. Then it rolls the dice again to determine old or new. And then it rolls the dice to determine code letter. Card? So that's not a thing anymore.
Right, okay. That makes sense.
So I don't know. It might have been I don't know if they changed it. It might be the same, might be different. That's kind of a last resort, though. Like, if we're kind of in between random stuff and we see a card trader, you'll probably throw some stuff in and see what happens.
Okay.
So,
all right. So, help missions, maybe.
We'll see. There's kind of a lot of them. My biggest problem with them is that they're annoying to initiate.
Yeah.
You have to go into the wave world, find someone who's got their transer, go in and hope that they have a mission. You don't even know if they do. Then you have to
oftentimes leave the wave world,
talk to them, person. And then they go, oh, man, I got a problem. It's in the wave world. And then you go back to the wave world again. And it's just like...
Talk about it the way you really mean it, baby. You got to jack in.
I mean,
it's
not
so
jacking
hard.
in anymore. It's wave on.
It's, on the air.
It's so much more fun to say.
I think
it
it's.
the other
Oh
way.
no, it's wave change. Wave change.
Oh, wave change.
Wave change on the air.
It sounds way less cool than jack in.
Got to jack in. Jack it right now.
Oh, pulse in.
Oh yeah, pulse in. But he says wave change when he pulses in.
Yes.
Yeah, that was what it was. But yeah, it's like it's really tedious to get them started. Rather than just going, hey, let's start the mission, it's, oh, you got to go find them a second time. And like on the editing side, it's very frustrating to constantly be pulsing in and out repeatedly.
Yeah.
Because I do all these like multi-screen things,
and
if I didn't, it would look really bad. I almost didn't, and then I realized how horrible that would look.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he suffers for his art.
I like the DS games that we do to look decent. I'm frustrated with Triple Deluxe because it doesn't. A lot of times it doesn't work as smoothly as I'd like, and it's cutting off a good chunk of the bottom. But it's useful for people to be able to see how many sunstones we have and how many lives we have and stuff.
Yeah,
it doesn't like we're not at risk of
stuff.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's kind of there's mild sacrifices to be made visually.
Yeah.
And then we have to get rid of it for other stuff and all of that. Also, yeah, taking only one mission at a time is a huge pain in the ass because if there's an annoying mission, you have to do that. And I don't think you can reject a mission once you've started it. So I can't either A, talk to that baseball kid and go, hey, baseball kid, you suck. I hate baseball. And then go pick up another mission. And I'm not allowed to go, hey, this is the mission I need. What's that? We have another mission? Yeah, I want to do this one instead.
Unless
I'm not allowed
kid's
to.
Mission is to have somebody use the pitching machine to give him a concussion, we are not interested.
Knock me out. Whatever. But
fuck my shit up, Dad.
Heyo.
So that's the thing is, it's a DS problem more than it's a 3DS problem more than a DS problem. DS problems are just, all right, I'm shifting screens, but it works. 3DS is much worse because the 3DS top screen is like 14, 15 by 9.
Yeah.
So it takes up most of a wide screen.
It's like painfully almost there.
Yeah. I had debated in the past just shrinking the actual exported video to match, but I'm like, that's going to look weird. On YouTube, it's fine, so long as they support that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It'll look weird on a TV. It might look weird on phones. I don't know. I debated it. I've done it for others, like the Mega Manathon. I did super wide when we had an edited version of that because we had the game screen and then camera footage of us.
Yes.
But like that was a special case, and I don't know that I'd do that again.
Yeah. There could be more better editing trickery and possibly chroma keying and things like that to improve that in the future.
Yeah. So like,
right, so as a final thing about like, the dismount from Star Force.
Sure.
I'm excited for the post game. I want to finish it off. I want the hard viruses. I want to do fights that are hard. Figure out the final boss. Get the last little bits of it. But also, I don't want to belabor Star Force because I'm looking forward to going on to 2.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From everything I've heard and been told.
I've heard 2 is better than 1 and 3 is better than 2.
Exactly. So, like, if we fell in love with this one right away and like the characters and love voicing them and like the gameplay was fun and the story was very anime and fun.
God, you guys did such a good job with that dual voice thing.
I think we also lucked out with some of those choices, too, because we, like... Not as much as we lucked out with Battle Number 6 with some of those voices. Mr. Mock was a brilliantly selected little piece of something there.
It was a magic thing.
And Dex was a big favorite for folks.
Tracksuit.
Yep.
Yeah, and Dex, I love
the fact that we were able to seamlessly shift Dex and Tab over to Bud and Zach, as like the Goon Squad buddies was like such a fortunate like thing to happen. It was like, oh, perfect.
Yes.
There is. I realized editing the last thing.
Plot is kind of head pants.
Oh, like ridiculous and weird,
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I realized that the voices between Dex and Bud are different. I didn't realize that I'd actually shifted them, but like,
it evolves.
I don't know. Bud sounds a little bit meaner, whereas Dex sounds a little fatter.
Yeah, a little goofier.
Yeah. I can't even do it right now. Just
you have
like
to be looking at him on the screen.
I kind of do though.
To hear the voices around the character.
Bud really likes pancakes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys! He almost has like a Cookie Monster.
Yes.
If Cookie Monster got chubby, that'd be the voice.
Didn't Cookie Monster?
I was gonna say, isn't Cookie Monster already chubby?
Nope.
Like,
Dex, you guys, he kind of sounds like this. There's not much of a difference.
Like
right now,
kind
of
to Dex.
It was
all up here.
It was all up here. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I'm doing it quite right. I'm out of practice with it now.
Yes,
so
that's the thing. So the point being, Star Force 2, we want to get into the story.
Yeah.
We want to, everything, even if it's crazy, like you said, if the plot is nuts, we'll have a lot of fun with it.
I've been slowly morphing some of the voices I've done a little bit over the course of the game to make them slightly more, not bearable, but like Dio, now Geo, once we're done with this, he will be Geo for the rest, but is slightly less of a complete like
do you
Muppet.
Not get to rename him in 2 or 3?
No.
That's hilarious.
I know. We're so used to Dio Patty, then it's like, oh right, Geo Stellar. That's actually his name.
Yeah.
Got it. Including Kelvin Patty will go back to being Kelvin Stellar.
Yep.
Which sounds like a drug. Well, we're going to inject him with 14 cc's of Kelvin Stellar.
Kelvin Stellar.
Yeah. It's going to be shitting stars. I don't know. But yeah, the voice has been fun. I'm looking forward to 2. I'm looking forward to 3. There's a little tiny piece of my heart that's like, the team that made Mega Man 11 was primarily composed of the team that made Mega Man Star Force 3, and generally Star Force and Battle Network overall. The fact that 11 was such a big hit, there was like concept stuff for Star Force 4 that came out, and it was like years later. There was like an undertone of like rebelling against like the law that was out to get Geo, and his new partner in crime-ish, a descendant of Lan Hikari. Like, I was like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I want that. It'd be incredible even if they just announced 4 by the time we finish with 3. I would be satisfied with that.
I want to play. I'm excited to play Star Force 4.
Yep.
In real time with release. Like, I'll be pumped to be like on the first wave.
That would be incredible. I would be all about that. Though there's been murmurs about an X9 for like the last year at this point, and it has yet to materialize. Obviously, times are tough, and so that kind of,
times are tough.
Times are tough down here in the mines. Like, but yeah, they're not going to be. I don't know if Sarah's coming back, so I'm just gonna slide over here and do this. I need to get better. I need to be more practiced at doing this. Where, hey Jeff, what's up?
Hi Rick, I'm over here.
Yeah, you're over there, and I'm talking to you. How's it going?
Even though we're looking
away from each other, but we're addressing you guys more easily.
With me at this distance, and because how my glasses reflect the light, it is actually it's if I'm looking at the screen or at the camera, it's really difficult to tell.
Oh,
but
no.
For you being that far away,
yeah, the glare kind of covers up. You just have dark eyes. This is the thing where it's like
I'm in an anime.
Yeah, in an anime, and nope, where is it?
Shinji
Here it is. Yeah.
Father.
Shing.
I would like to fuck everything.
Doku no Deska. This is the part where someone tells me that Doku no Deska is like some horrible slur, and I've just been canceled in Japan. So that'll be fun.
No, our Japanese fans.
I know. We actually do have a handful of fans both from Japan and who speak Japanese and read it and understand it. So
Japan-celled.
That's pretty. Oh, Japan-celled. I feel like Japan-celled would be a different thing entirely. Would that be? I feel like Japan-cell would be like the modern iteration of like the weeaboo otaku chain.
God.
Let's not get into that. That's just asking for people to get upset. But
what is our next thing? You're fun.
The next thing is Pokemon S-Word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're finally back into that. It was tough to get that set up just because it would literally be there'd be weekends where you weren't here either for safety during COVID, particularly bad times, or just it was a weekend that didn't work. And Ben was kind of like, so what are we recording this weekend? And then flip side, there were times where you were here, and Ben was like, I kind of have plans for this whole weekend.
My whole thing is booked.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck. All right, okay, yeah, all right, that's fine. We'll figure it out next time.
4 hours of Star Force, go.
Yeah, those were usually the points where we started doing like massive amounts of Star Force.
And Sonic, too.
And cocaine. I mean, what?
Shadow.
Nothing, yeah. We did some Shadow.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
We did some Shadow. Pokemon Sword is moving again. I
love Phalanx.
We're basically, I think we got into the 6th gym town. I think. I don't think we haven't done the gym battle yet.
Yeah. Odds are we will do more this weekend as I am here and Ben isn't free tonight. But
but we will get some done there.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get some more recorded as well. But it's moving along now, which is nice.
Yeah.
Honestly, the big problem for me is that when we go to start recording Pokemon Sword, Ben is largely interested in giving me the controller and being like, Jeff, do it, and then jump in and be like, no, that's a mistake, or like, oh, here's some advice.
It's very similar to the Ultra Sun format, where I think Lindsay mostly controlled it, and Ben was kind of there as like coach and namer.
He's bending me, and it's great because having oftentimes I'm like, so this guy is dark and normal, and you guys are like, nope, he's psychic and ghost, and I'm like, okay, I was completely wrong and would have died. Ben taking over at gyms and actual tough battles and stuff like that has been good, but but it's just having Ben and your insight and me playing is good, but the problem is that it takes me every time we come back to Pokemon Sword.
You got to kind of ease back in again.
I'm sure at the end of the last set of videos we did for Sword, I was very quick with buttons and menuing and finding the right thing and stuff. And then in this, like in the first couple of episodes of the most recent string we recorded, you can see me hitting Y randomly or hitting B or like
that Y-com
straight pressing the wrong thing often.
Yeah.
And it's challenging. And like, also we, to some things people have mentioned like in the Discord and chat and stuff, in terms of losing the thread of the plot and us like not being like massive fans of it right now.
Yeah.
It often is very difficult to reinvest when we haven't played in such a long time because we're trying to keep all the reactions similar, but that's balanced against the timing of being able to get everybody together and like get into a good mood and make some good progress. So like
for example, the Oleana thing, that was a matter of like I just straight up forgot that was her name. I think I even said it was like, oh wait, was that I think you said too? Yeah, it was like that was the assistant. I was like,
I patently didn't remember what had like happened with Oleana. Like I just didn't remember the end of that cutscene where she was like, "Come with me."
Yeah,
and then they talked, and maybe the chairman said something like, "Oh, it's not good."
I think that was when part of the cutscene where we thought the chairman didn't have pants on, but he actually had shorts.
Yeah,
it was like sweatshirt, shorts.
Yeah, it was,
which is a weird combination.
Mode
yeah,
chairman. Yeah.
It was the mode where it's like, oh, he's a bit of a hefty boy. That's okay.
So like that isn't to say that I am fully in love with the plot, because I'll be honest, there have been things about it that we haven't enjoyed, and yes, we've like skipped stuff here and there, but like especially because I've had the controller in my hands the most often.
At least recently, I think Ben started it out at the very beginning, but then the bulk of it has been you since then.
More often lately, I think Ben's been handing it off to me and preferring to like watch. But yeah, I'm trying to play in a way where I run to what causes me joy, and if there's something interesting here, or if I'm like, I see some house that's really fascinating and I go over to it, but I miss the other three things. That's just, I'm trying to be organic and I'm trying to be quick in what we do.
Chasing
and not
cars.
Belabor, searching at everything individually. And like, yes, there's things we missed, and probably at the end of the game we'll be back into every town looking around and doing stuff.
Well, it's a tough balance too, because we equally get comments being like, "Wow, you guys didn't get into any battles today," and it's like, well, I mean, yeah, we were looking around and engaging in story stuff. Like, it's tough. This isn't meant as like a complaint or from us or anything. It's more just like with RPGs, especially in the bite size that we do, which is 15 minutes give or take, because that's the most we can reasonably do and still get a week's worth of videos out without totally destroying our schedule. But
recording for 5 hours in a day.
Yeah, it gets a little tricky sometimes actually getting a good mix of the story and the gameplay together. So I mean we are trying with it. Pokemon games in particular get tricky because like they do have the first episode of this new session really did dump a lot of cutscenes and dialogue moments in there.
Yes.
So I don't know. I think part of it too is with I lost my train of thought. Fuck.
I don't remember.
I think part of the frustration with the story in general was best summed up by that first episode where, kaboom! Oh no, the chairman's lab had a huge explosion. Oh, we should go check it out. No. You go to the next gym, and it's like,
yeah, don't worry about it.
Fuck you, there's an explosion back there.
I'm pretty sure that I said during the episode that Ash Ketchum would have, like,
thrown
his gym badges on the ground and been like, that's
we used to
too
infiltrate
shit
like that back in the day. But
in there and, yeah.
I think that's more that's my only real, like, my two gripes with the story of Sword and Shield are the story that we get to play is pretty shallow, like low intensity. And the stuff we now explicitly don't get to play seems a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And it sort of feels like a carrot and stick situation, I guess. I don't know. Is it the worst thing? No. Do I hate this game? No.
Yeah. Like, I mean, to sum up my thoughts on it,
I still hate Diamond and Pearl more than this game, so that's at least saying something.
To sum up my thoughts on it, like I'm enjoying Sword. I haven't been back to Pokemon for a long time. So I think that like some things that are very refreshing to me or totally new to me, to you guys might be old hat, and to other people who have been very, very on the Pokemon train as you've gone along. Like some things don't appeal to me that do to others, and some habits from Pokemon games I just like haven't developed. So, don't infer our ribbing of the game and like pooping on stuff here or there as like the be all end all of our thoughts on it. Like occasionally I will bitch about stuff, and like I don't care what anybody says. I don't like Hop. He's not an interesting character to me. I thought that maybe he would be because he's in the shadow of his brother.
I wish he
got
got...
The writing really wasn't that deep, and like I don't have a problem with other people liking Hop or people being annoyed with me being annoyed with Hop. It's just how I feel. And like even though I'll crap on things here or there, I've still really been enjoying the game, and all of us are, and we're not going to like stop because we don't like it, but it's just when we see stuff oftentimes we point it out.
My biggest issue with Hop as a character is that I want him to emote more. I want him to get mad and actually do something, because the only time he did it was to someone who wasn't us, and then he ran off screen and we didn't see him for another couple hours. Like, I'm getting a little tired of Marshmallow Boy rivals who don't have much in the way of like,
well, he's
I don't know.
He's not even supposed to be a rival in this. Sorry, I'm not talking like in this particular case. He's like,
I mean, he plays the role of a rival. Him and Bede both. Whereas Bede also,
rivals say fuck.
Bede also is like such. It is kind of nice to have a rival that is more explicitly on the darker edge of like, are they actually just a flat out bad guy? We literally, I don't think, have seen that since Silver, back in the Gold and Silver days. I do kind of wish there were more charming moments to kind of throw you off, because you get that with Blue in a lot of like material since the remakes came around. Every now and then, Blue throws a little bit of nice in, where you're like, wait, what is this? I'm used to you telling me I smell. What the fuck? And then it's like, whatever. And it's like, okay.
I do remember what Hop was talking about. Nobody. He has been complaining about feeling like a failure since the beginning. He
doesn't think he stacks up to his brother's legacy.
Yeah, I'm not as good as Leon, and then you go on the adventure, and Hop constantly gets defeated by your team, and is like, man, even my best friend beats the crap out of me all the time in Pokemon battles, and I feel like I'm not worth it. But
that's not Final Biscuit. That's not a Sword and Shield specific problem. That's been a problem for a long time, like you're saying, for sure. Since at least X and Y, really, when it was like, here, have an entire team of Marshmallow rivals. You had 4 rivals, and they were all like, hey, we're all best friends. Like, give me one asshole, please.
But Hop's through line throughout the whole thing is he keeps trying, and he feels like a failure, but he won't give up. He's going to keep trying. And
which is
after the
fine.
third time, him not giving up and going to keep trying and changing things up until they work, I get it. Like, it's not that I, think that's a bad thing or anything like that, but the character's, like, arc has been...
He's not evolving.
Single line.
They've teased it.
In his team.
They've teased it twice. There was the point after, I think, Galarmine number 1, where he gets defeated by Bede, and you run into him. I think it was later than that, actually. But you run into him, and he's like, they're doing the Japanese media trope thing of they won't show his face because he's so upset and so like depressed that it's like almost creepy. And then he goes away, and he's clearly squashed emotionally, like he's defeated. But then the next time you see him, he's back to normal again. It's like, oh, this isn't going to be an arc. This isn't going to be like a thing. Oh my God, Marnie is a character. Holy shit, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot she was in this game. Wow, when is the last time we saw her?
I don't know. Yeah, and we get, I get that he's changing up his team and trying to find new Pokemon, but like that not much of that character development has happened with the character.
Yeah, that's on the same lines as N has different Pokemon on his team every fight because he releases them afterwards. Like, it's a nice little nugget, but it's not building anything.
Yeah.
It's a nice little... It's an accent on the side that reinforces an idea more than it actually is the idea.
But I mean, like, consider it this way. I am somebody who pays average to above average attention to the characters and what's going on in Pokemon Sword. There are people who pay less attention and read less into things and connect less dots than me, and people who connect and read much more. I don't really love Hop's story and like him as a rival / friend or whatever it is. And I'm sure there's people who have paid even less attention who give less of a shit.
I think the fact that Hop, it might be like, not psychosomatic, that's the wrong word, but like it might be a bit of a, like, we're like a misassociation in our heads in a way where Hop looks pretty similar to How from Sun and Moon, acts pretty similar, doesn't have the chip on his shoulder about legacy exactly, but they're like tonally and mood-wise pretty similar. They literally use the same basic skeleton. Like, there were people who, during the whole rush of like, oh my god, there's so much reused stuff from Sun and Moon, even though they said it was all new, like, there are specific animations that are reused and look almost identical and all of that, which is like not a big deal, but
sure.
I mean, the reuse of skeletal animations is not a big deal because that does save time and that's totally reasonable. But like, I think it's so easy to just blur that line between two consecutive releases of your rival Hop How is basically the same guy, and it kind of feels tired by now. I don't know.
Well, I have an interesting point, something I've kind of been like mulling around in my head, and I'm curious to hear what you think about it, Rick, and also everybody watching.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Pokemon Sword, from a game development structural building level, is a very good example, and it's very clear to me that game was built on places, not on story. Because Hammerlock,
the
when
set
you walk
pieces
there,
are really,
it's fascinating. You're like, look at this cool ass town, and then you go to the Mushroom Town, and you're like, ooh, what's in here? And then you've got this beautiful giant field, and they give you a cinematic look at it.
Mm-hmm.
And every individual instance area was what was thought out. And after they built all of their, like, we got to have an ice town, we got to have a steampunk town, fairy mushroom town, we'll do something fiery in the south or something.
The unfortunate, like, kind of truth to that really is that is one of the growing pains. Actually, you know what? No, I guess I'm gonna have to take part of this back. I was gonna say that's one of the growing pains of going to the actual 3D full-size console gaming was like, Mario had that to an extent where you've got a handful of set pieces in Mario 64, and then you've got areas where like, this is a cube. I'm standing in a cube.
Sure.
And then Zelda, same thing. It's like, all right, you've got Hyrule Field, and after the first time you're there, you're just kind of like, this is a big green lump of
this motherfucker. Yeah.
So like, but I would like to think that whether it's a console or handheld version in the future, obviously Nintendo's future is anyone's guess, but I would like to think that if they continue with this style of Pokemon game, that they can improve on that, because the biggest problem is in a 2D game or one of the top-down versions that we've had before, this wouldn't be as big of a problem. And it's strange, like Route 8, that little desert maze.
Man-hour cost of building assets and spending time on areas to make stuff look and feel cool, right?
As opposed to like
2D
smoothing out the game and
Well, so my overall point is such that they built all of these amazing areas and probably had people working on them ahead of time. And then the writers of the game, the ones who wrote the dialogue, the ones who handed down the piece of paper that says the first step is, the player character and Hop meet the champion, and it's amazing because he's on TV and Pokemon's on TV, and it's like, the person who hands down the like step-to-step quest stuff. Where do you go? What do you do? I don't think they had much of a hand in the process of building the world. They were handed these areas that they said, here's the steampunk area, here's the ice area, put the gyms in the places, and figure out which one you go to, and motivation to do so. And this really struck me most during the thing where they were like, oh no, there's a boom in the factory. And then they were like, go to the other gym. Not that it's not fully illogical that the adults would be like, let us handle this, stay on your Pokemon journey.
But you're literally in the middle. In fact, at this point, more than halfway through your quest to potentially supplant the Pokemon champion. Like the league champion, Leon, could get replaced by you, and you're 5 out of 8 gyms into doing that, and they're still like, you're just a kid. It's like, I'm maybe weeks away from being the next
most
you.
Powerful Pokemon trainer there is.
So like,
and it's not to make a comment on how they built the story or what they did with it.
Yeah.
But it's really, the plot feels like they were given a map, and that you had to hit all these places, and they were like, fuck, all right, so after they go to this area, we'll have them go to ice, but we need a reason for them to go to Hammerlock but not stay there. And I feel like they were really trying to write with a lot of barriers, because the story, I was really excited for Sword because it felt like a really cool way to approach Pokemon. Like, it's Major League Soccer.
A lot more contemporary and like up to date with trends of like WoolooTube being YouTube and mass media broadcast sports, stadiums and things.
People know you because they watched the YouTube video of you beating the gym leader, and nobody expected it, and it was amazing.
Yep.
Like, I thought that was really cool. But I think that would have only been fully executed to my liking if the writers of the story had really written something that mirrored like a professional athlete working their way up through the AAA, AA baseball system, like getting to the major leagues. Or in soccer, there's like 6 leagues below, and you got to play well enough, and then a team buys your contract.
I wouldn't even mind if the game was condensed down, not necessarily overall, but if it literally was like minor leagues, major leagues, and then all-star league or something, is like, screw it, do a shitload of like gym battles. They don't all have to be like mega massive stadium things, but there could literally be in the minor leagues, your gym battle takes place in an old worn down soccer field. I
would have loved it if there was this children's like playground Pokemon battle, and there's like 6 kids sitting around like drinking juice boxes, and they're like, what are these assholes doing? And they're like, whoa, what an amazing Pokemon.
You could even work in like the champion of the of the Galar minor league or something is some like, young kid or teenager or whatever, and they get beaten and you replace them, but like they just become a regular character who keeps showing up, both A, because some shit is going down, and B, because he's like, well, fine, if I'm not the league champion anymore, I'm going to go for the major leagues. And now, oh shit, you've got a new rival who was the former champ. Like, that'd be cool. That'd be an awesome way. I don't know.
The professor or Sonia even ends up being your manager. Being like, all right, you're great at the actual Pokemon fighting shit, but you don't know shit about actual Pokemon.
Right.
And where to
we got
to
teach you. We got to get you put together.
Be like, all right, next is the Ice Badge.
Yep.
But we're going to go here first so you can get a Fire Pokemon. Like, some way to...
Yeah, a little bit of guidance and stuff. I mean, like...
I could ramble on for this for a while. I had such imaginations about what the game was going to be, because I was like, oh, Major League Soccer... Coolest concept for Pokemon League and reason to do the gym battles and move up in the ranks.
I'm a little confused. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something feels off about the pacing of how they're revealing the history of Galar, because it's obviously a really important part of what they're trying to draw up as a story. The history of ancient Galar, the Galarian heroes / the 2 wolves. Like, where they're mixing metaphor and literal story enough that it is getting slightly confusing, but they introduce it in such weird, disparate chunks. Like, we're getting the story, it's happening, but for some reason it feels off, and I can't figure out why it feels wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're getting this distant past history lesson stretched out over the whole game, as opposed to most other Pokemon games. Details like that would either be very sparing, like the thing with Az in X and Y, very sparing, and then you get a little bit of a boop near the end.
You know what I think might have improved that, or what might be missing?
Yeah.
Is the link between the past and the present, where there's all of this ancient stuff about Pokemon and whatnot, juxtaposed with YouTube and department store shopping. And
if there were sightings, of Zacian, Zacian, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Cyan was.
Before every Pokemon battle match, a person bearing a sword and shield came out onto the field, and everybody
like official match,
like went like huzzah to the sword and the shield, to the two defenders of our land, like, you know, the national anthem. I'm not like promoting nationalism.
It doesn't feel like the sword and shield are all that important to the culture of Galar. It's on a statue in a hotel. There's alien style writings on a hill, I think. We've got the mural that was covering an actual like carving.
Yeah, for real. It was a goofy kindergarten mural covering an amazing pair of statues. Yeah.
And then there's like this really tucked away, very tiny museum situation. It's like nobody talks about the history of Galar that we've seen. Maybe they do, and we haven't run into them, and we haven't talked to them. But like, it feels so separate. So every time, Sonia, is it Sonia? No.
The one with the red hair? Yeah.
It's funny that we get another Sonia. Every time Sonia like shows up, it's like, well, it's time to slam on the brakes because it's time for history lesson again. Like, it just kind of comes up, and we're just like, huh.
You burnt.
Oh, man. I don't even remember what that was originally.
It was Hollow Knight talking about like the plot when you were maybe like halfway
I still hold that it works as a metaphor for industrialization and just kind of, I don't know. That's the thing about interpretation. You don't have to agree. That's fine.
Yep.
I kind of see it in there, though. Like,
I just like the deep cut burnt because I happened to be there for that one stream where that was mentioned. The
Looker is probably somewhere in all this, isn't he?
But yeah, so the point of this ramble, and I'm sorry to get us very off topic, but like, you know, us doing Pokemon at the moment, we like the game. But I feel like the reason that maybe I've been dour about it, or like not pushed back on like arguments, or all of us overall being like, you know, critical of it, is because we wanted so much more. We were like, new Switch Pokemon game.
It was a huge...
Oh, shit, this is hype central.
Yeah. I would have rather they spent another year on it just to... Even just... There's spots that could use more polish. It's not even like... There's very little in the game that I think is just outright bad.
Yeah.
But there's a lot where I'm kind of like, well, that was a little disappointing, and that was a little bit of a letdown, or that was a little underwhelming. And on their own, that's not terrible, but it does add up after a while until you're just kind of like, there's not a lot that's really like getting me.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying. The
new Pokemon look good.
Yes.
I like
most,
if not all, of the new Pokemon themselves look fine. I like them a lot. They're not even probably. They're 100% my favorite part of this generation so far is that the new Pokemon rock.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let me zoop zoop zoop. There we go.
Look who is. You just you came in at the exact conclusion of our discussion about Pokemon Sword.
Yes.
And how
we just sliding over.
Have been good. I don't want to talk about that bullshit game anyway.
And that's why we're going to talk about
garbage Pokemon game for babies.
Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Is that the next topic?
Yeah, just briefly, just a quick little, because there's not a lot to talk about. But
that's legit.
So we were going to.
Why can't I like anything?
We were.
I don't know. Maybe we just have to play Dark Souls and that's it.
There was a point.
All Dark Souls all time channel.
There was a point in May or June where we were loosely trying to see if it would at all be possible for John to come down in July, and it was looking okay. And then suddenly LA went pop on the whole COVID scene, and even Massachusetts has a bit of a rise in it recently, and it's like, that's not going to fly. We obviously can't do that, which was a bummer because John was kind of looking for that as an opportunity to reinvigorate Let's Go Pikachu.
Yes,
among other things.
I don't know what Demon Souls Phalanx is. I mean, I know what the boss.
The Gigantamax version of Phalanx is a pile of Phalanx and one on the top, very much like the Phalanx of the Phalanx from Dark Souls.
All right, that Pokemon
it's Gigantamax.
That Pokemon now gets a C rating.
Phalanx is great. I like Phalanx.
spitting all over.
Oh, that's just fan art. Oh, I thought that was a Gigantamax thing.
Never mind, it's a failure Pokemon.
That was a really clever one, though. I like it. Anyway, that's a bummer. That's cool. I do like. There's a lot of.
I don't even. Really
there's a lot of clever Gigantamax fan art out there.
I know. I came up and you guys were like, "Oh, this thing's so cool," so I had to be like, "No, fuck that."
It's funny that it was exactly like 10 minutes later in the episode where you're like, "Nah, it's okay. Actually, I don't hate it at all." And I was like, "Yeah, I thought so. You son of a bitch."
I don't love it. There's very few new Pokemon that I'm like, "Oh, it's so cool," but
some of them aren't bad. Rumble Dumpin' is that a new one?
Carcol? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's a new one.
I don't think that Pokemon.
That one's.
I think he looks super.
He looks great.
Vaguely, Carcol and them are vaguely this generation's Geodude line.
Carcol, the middle one, I think was the best when it evolved into.
Oh, when it had wheels.
Yes. Well, no, when it had legs, it was.
Did it have legs? I thought the middle one was like the cart with wheels.
No, it was 4 little stones on the ground.
Yeah, that rotate.
I don't think so. I think it just.
Yeah,
ran.
no, it was a mine cart.
Right, but I don't think its legs rotated. I think it just had 4 little leggy rock.
They're wheel legs. Yeah, they. We saw one recently. Actually,
they rotate.
Were they spin.
Really,
they're on a rotor.
Legs though.
Yeah, I don't know. They're rock piece thingies.
Yeah. I forget if it's already been in an episode recently or if it's one that's coming up. But we did see one recently, and I even noticed that I was like, "Whoa!"
Because I'm recalling it like taking a couple steps and like doing.
It may have done that for sure ones, but they definitely like rev up too.
It's like a grocery cart where like 3 wheels work and then the other one's like.
The last one's like, "Oh God, I don't know what to do. What do I do down here? Oh God." Yeah. But yeah, so as far as Pikachu and Eevee, we've been kind of holding off on that because John, understandably, is a little bit shell-shocked and reluctant to do some fully solo after what happened last time.
And it's also less compelling sometimes just to be playing alone.
we might do one where he's playing and I'm hanging out remote since his recording setup is most likely good enough for me to be able to watch through like a Discord share or something.
It has gotten better.
Yeah, so we're kind of figuring out the mechanics of that, and that might return soon. And especially depending on how well Sword does staying on the calendar, that might be something that we kind of alternate with. Yeah. I don't know. We're figuring it out though.
Yeah, John's been wanting to for a long time come and I was talking to him on the stream a little while ago. You know, wanting to come and stay for like 2 weeks and see a bunch of people, but also do like hard recording for a while because that's the only like isolated spot. But it just like with the idea of going to Massachusetts and needing to be quarantined for 14 days.
It's right now, if you come from California into Massachusetts, you are required by law to isolate for 2 weeks before you can actually like do anything.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how enforced it is or anything, but
as well as they can.
It's also just a good idea.
Yeah.
So
that's really the biggest point. Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but
when we can.
Yep. Let's see. Shadow. Recording wise, we have finished 8 out of 10 runs. We have finished 8 out of 10 runs. We will at least get the 9th one done this weekend. I don't know if we'll get the 10th one done. We'll at least get it started probably, and then the weekend after we'll likely do what's left of the game between the 10th run and the actual final like segment.
Yeah.
Which will be nice and weird. It like we've done 40-ish, a little over 40 episodes recorded in total, but it feels like we've been doing it for a lot longer than that.
Yes.
I think it just gets so repetitive that it's just like...
The reason why we went straight through everything, because it's our 8th run.
Yeah, it's our 8th run through most of these.
My fucks are running low.
Running through Westopolis for the neutral is 2 minutes. Running through to get the Hero or Dark is like 15 minutes. Same goes for virtually all the missions, honestly. Is just running for the ring at the end takes approximately like 15% as long as doing either of the missions that are there.
Marginally less repetitive.
It'd be less repetitive, but it would take.
So I suppose most of the
minimum
times,
5 times longer.
Most of the times when I play, I just kind of black out, so I don't really.
I realize
the majority of what I do.
I mean, you guys will see when we get there. But run 8 during the credits, I think in the middle of it, I kind of blink and I was like, I just realized I don't remember any of what we did for this run for Shadow. I was about to get into what story did we craft this time. It's like I literally don't know.
For the behind the scenes,
even though there's like different levels and like there's different.
Well, it's not anymore. It's all of the levels are now repeated.
There are different levels.
Yes,
like there are multiple levels in the game, and there's different plot points that you can kind of piece together. Like despite all that, everything feels like the same fucking thing even when it's a different level.
Part of it
even
too
when it's
is
a different part of the plot.
Yeah.
Several levels.
I can't differentiate.
Several levels have
other.
lots of levels have twins. There's a lot of levels that have a twin level somewhere in there. Like there's one called Sky Troops where you're in the air and you have to, oh god. So there's Glyphic Canyon where you're in a weird ruins and you have to activate gems so that it'll fly into the sky. And then there's a later level that you can even get to in the same run called Sky Troops, which is the same ruins, but one of the missions is now to destroy those gems. And it's like, what is happening? There's a lot of repetition, though. I don't know.
We even after we were finished some chunk of Shadow, or after the last recording session, Rick and I had a discussion where we remarked upon wow, we both had trouble finding stuff to look at in the game. There's only so many times I can be like, it's the butter car. And on the 8th run, it's it's the butter car.
Yeah. Well, it is a good point. It was the SD Hero that it's kind of turned into just a
podcast. That's what I assumed was going to happen.
Yeah.
Those can be kind of. The only problem is when you run out of things to say for the
then you're
podcast episode. It's
that's literally when someone goes
something to work with. Here, but
that's literally when someone goes, so Shadow.
Yeah, you're like, yep.
Sure is running.
So coronavirus.
Yeah, I just say queef. Out of nowhere, I don't know what
weather
to say.
today.
Well, so
man. I'm excited for Sonic 06 because I can't wait for anybody who doesn't know how bad and fucked that game really is to see up close and personal just how holy shit that is.
As I can handle.
You really do need to.
I also have intentionally kept myself as blind as possible. I don't look at anything.
This will be important
Sonic
later.
06. I've never played it. I never have seen a speed run of it or anything like that.
This will be important later. So I'm glad that you guys are both trying to. I love
I know a little bit about the game, but I'm not gonna. I've enough to look anything up.
Ironically, early into the Supersonic Let's Play, I was still fairly regularly watching Game Grumps, and I at one point had come across the old Sonic 06 series, which I had seen all the way through. I've played the game all the way through as well, but I saw that, and it's a hilarious series, and I was like, I should try to wean myself away from looking at this, just because if there's any one game I want my reactions to be as raw and fresh as possible, so it's gonna be that one.
Games are fun when they're good and entertaining, and also when they're really bad but still entertaining.
Yep.
Good bad versus bad.
Is when you have other people with you, right?
Yeah.
Because you can kind of commiserate and be like, oh yeah, I feel you, buddy.
So
when they're just neutral and boring, like Shadow.
Yeah. Sonic 06, I wouldn't even necessarily say is good bad. It's so there's so bad it's good.
Bad.
Yeah, there's so bad it's good.
It's
and
so
this is
far on the bad spectrum. It's
there's so bad it's bad when it just kind of whips back around to it. And then there's it's so bad that it's so bad that it's kind of good. Just to sit there and go how? I don't even how. As opposed to wow, this game sucks. Holy shit, it's so broken. It's just this should not be.
The only thing that can get real bad with that is if you get stuck on a part in a bad,
happen.
Game.
That'll happen.
Because then it's gonna be just
it will
a
happen.
whole episode or two of just being doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And to that point,
and I mean stuck not knowing what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, being completely lost.
Those are bad moments to me.
Yeah.
Because just there's. If you're stuck and you're oh, this is hard, and you keep trying.
Yeah.
It's I mean, you just keep trying to do it. And you're I don't know.
There's one thing.
What the fuck to do?
I don't know.
There's one thing in particular that I'm really looking forward to. In so many words, inflicting on one of you in that game, as far as just why.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the one that everyone's thinking of. Everyone's probably thinking of the same thing. It's not that one.
We'll get there when we get there.
We'll get there when we get there.
Right?
But yeah, to tie up that conversation, we finished our 8th run, and we were saying after the fact, man, the 9th and then 10th runs are going to be way hype. We made it through the doldrums because the 9th run is the almost final one.
And then we've got the final one.
And then it is
only one more.
And
the final
they're going to be
one.
very different from each other, too, because they are deviating quickly. I don't know where we're going to split, but they will have to split hard apart because it's the darkest final stage and the...
Light
Yeah.
You're back to the hospital bed, Ben. You never left.
Now you can see his face. Now he's a ghost.
That would be so nice if I just woke up and I was in that hospital bed and the past
when was that
4-ish years.
When was that?
Were just a nightmare.
When did that happen? When was that?
No,
Bye, Jeff.
Yeah. No. As I fade into nothingness
I'm just
off
saying,
screen.
2016 was maybe when things start to. I don't know. And it was a couple years before that.
Perhaps leave the rails
it was
slightly.
probably 2014, 2015.
Go off road.
I mean, we knew you and you were actively like doing stuff with us, and that was like end of 2013 when we started hanging out.
Really?
Yeah. So it would have been after that by a little bit.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but
Well, anyway,
It would be nice. That was a decent.
yeah. Why don't we?
Like, oh, we get to redo some of those. I'd still get to meet you.
Yeah,
Just-
hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if time played out mostly the same, but
I would
not
think
really.
so. I don't think that would be. I hope that would.
Maybe I'd join earlier if
Yeah.
that were the case.
Here we go.
That would be
That would
nice.
do
Just
it.
benefits for everyone.
Okay, all right. I could see that brighter future past.
Oh man, if we go back far enough, we wouldn't have played Gods Will Be Watching. That sounds pretty good. I'd be down for that.
That was definitely before Gallbladder.
Fuck.
Definitely. Before.
Too far along in the timeline.
Well, that was in 2015, so
Really?
yes, because
That was 2015.
it might have actually been start of 2016 because immediately after all of those things, we started playing Kirby, and that was 2016.
Dang.
Maybe it's 2017 then.
Ooh.
Dude, time is fucking.
Well, speaking of
yes,
Kirby.
Kirby
That's enough
Triple
on
Deluxe.
Shadow.
We are pretty far along in that one. We probably have like 2 or so weeks left to go on that
I
one.
miss playing 4-player Kirby.
I know, went away very quickly. It'll come back. It will come back.
Player Kirby is like this game that we're doing is like it's a good solid.
Yeah,
Kirby.
it's a
I
good Kirby
agree,
game.
yeah.
It's
It feels good to.
it might be the
watch.
best single player Kirby
Yeah,
game we've
it's
had in
like,
quite
I'm
a
not
while.
playing,
It's engaging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like DD tour before we. Oh, we're not gonna. We're checking out the mini games and stuff. Don't worry, we'll be checking out some things. Pow. But yeah, no, we at the very least the main game is probably 2, maybe 3 weeks from completion. That's been
Yeah.
really enjoyable. I'll miss it when it's gone. It's weird because it feels like Kirby, proportional to the
that's so
screen,
sweet.
is absolutely massive in Triple Deluxe. He feels like he takes up a ton of the screen compared to most other Kirby games. I don't know why. It makes everything feel kind of cramped, but it is a really good game. So
Kirby's been delightful regardless of when Rick posted. I save it towards the end of my night.
I
That's
feel that.
so sweet.
no.
On occasions, I've done
That's
that.
so nice.
It used to be back in the day when we had fewer videos. I still try to line it up this way, but I can. Kirby is frequently the last thing of the night. The only exceptions to that generally are when we have a Resident Evil game, because that's the late night game, or there's a stream because we're supposed to wait 24 hours
Yeah.
before posting that to YouTube.
after my bedtime.
D-pad After Dark consists of 1 block of Resident Evil and then 1 block of Star Force.
That works.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's those are past my bedtime. That's for sure.
Um,
I'm in bed by then.
But yeah,
10:30 is my
It's
fucking.
good. You missed the spoops.
Oh God, that's when
Well,
you
I
have
like-
scary poops.
I don't know if what's the other game? Not Resident Evil.
Star Force?
I don't know if I've seen a single.
Probably
I don't know
not.
anything about that.
Oh no, you were there for a couple. You were there for I think 1 session.
Is that a Battleman Network game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Battleman Network.
I don't remember exactly what it might have been.
Network Connect.
It might have been during
I
the
don't-
school sequence, during the Mr.
Yeah,
Shepard.
Okay, it's that one.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't like that game, but
Mr.
I
Shepard.
do enjoy the Resident Evil ones. If for no other reason, it's a chance to see CJ and Felice. So.
Mm.
Yes, the latest numerical Resident Evil game, 7. What was the one?
7,
with
yeah.
the molded.
11?
Yes.
7.
Yep.
That I think was dope as fuck. I respect.
Did you see the
and
trailer for
appreciate-
8?
No.
They put out a trailer for 8.
Ugh.
It looks interesting.
Better not be a MOBA. Or
No.
some stupid.
I'm a little
Change
lost on
Resident
how it's
Evil
going to
a
work, but
MOBA
What about a Resident Evil MMO? I guess
that's called
like,
Project Zomboid.
It's like 7 Days to Die.
Yeah.
or other, DayZ or whatever.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like MMO zombie games.
DayZ is running through the woods Psychopath Simulator, realistically. Like the zombie.
Yeah, well,
I don't know how many people out there have played DayZ. I've played a lot of hours of it, both before when it was an Arma 2 mod.
It comes later in the alphabet than Zombie U.
Yeah. It is still you run through the woods. Just.
I've heard it was way better as a mod than it is as a standalone.
It used to be. As a mod, Arma had complete and functional and balanced bullet physics, and there was a plethora of guns that were pre-made for Arma you could use. All of the vaulting and climbing up ladders and everything was like pretty nailed down, and like there were gaps in the map, and occasionally you'd be climbing a ladder and then just glitch off and fall and break a leg and your round was over.
Just want to point out real quick, James, that is literally what Resident Evil Resistance is. What about a Resident Evil Dead by Daylight knockoff? That is pretty much literally. I didn't mean to totally kill that. Oh, okay. Wasn't sure.
Okay.
There's a delay before it gets to us, so I wasn't sure what that was in reference to.
It was an accurate and carefully crafted enough joke that we took it seriously for a second.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Did you happen to see?"
Too smart for the room.
Also, Resident Evil is substantially better as a first-person game, I think.
What is?
Resident Evil 7 was a fucking incredible experience, and it being first person was a humongous part of that.
Yep.
2 and 3 are very good, but they don't quite stack up. There's just something animalistic, like in your heart and in your little lizard brain, that responds more to seeing through the eyes of your character, literally, than having like the shoulder view.
Yes.
I don't
know. I do kind of agree, James. It departs in good ways, but also it does have that core Resident Evil feel. And I would like to see them, since they've just done 1 and 2 remakes.
Yeah,
I could see them maybe refining for 8.
I mean,
being like, we tried a bunch of different stuff, but we also
did
exercises in what.
You know what the best thing about Resident Evil 7 is? That it departs from Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6.
Right. Like,
those were so like they got less and less beloved over time.
I guess I don't know if I was going to say the same thing, but I was going to say, like, who wants to keep playing the same game over and over?
Also that, like, changing it up every once in a while is really good.
The Resident Evil brand and, like, tie in your umbrella and make it part of the chronicles of, Resident Evil or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles.
I remember when...
Like, you got to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I
just do the same thing over and over. It's like, that's stale.
I mean, if I'm going to be honest...
Also, did anyone else... I feel like this is weird phenomenon. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
But, like, when Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles came out, all of us... And this was a while ago, so, like, the friends I was hanging out with then, everyone just kind of, like... individually called it Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles.
Yeah, John was talking about that.
Yeah.
It's like one of those like
you just kind of stumble into it.
Sounds like it should be Umbrella Chronicles,
right? Like, I don't know why it does sound more natural to the point where if someone says Umbrella Chronicles, it does something feels off about it. And you're like,
it's not the Mandela effect. Is what's that effect where like the same like evolutionary thing will happen in completely different parts of the world. You know what I mean? There's not mass evolution?
There's
a name for it.
It's related to like was it the invention of algebra happening simultaneously in different places of the world and
but like at near the same time.
Yeah,
and like there was no communication.
Mental convergence. That sounds about right. Mental convergence.
Right. It's just very
well.
Collective unconscious is more...
There's a specific term, and I think this is more, like, evolutionarily speaking, where, like, a similar mutation happened in completely different...
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
So, for me, my Resident Evil experience is very strange. Because
Parallel evolution?
I played 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And then really disengaged from the franchise overall.
We're about to hit that spot ourselves.
Came back into 7. Like,
that sounds like the right way to do it.
I hadn't paid any attention to Resident Evil because I had a PlayStation 1 and
did
PlayStation
Capcom.
2, and like kept up with Resident Evil 1, 2, and then, I don't remember playing 3.
Convergent Evolution.
Okay, that makes sense. But then, 4, 5, and 6, I just kind of wasn't on the train.
To movie sequels.
Convergent Evolution.
Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, so my look at it is very colored, and the closed-in puzzle feel of 1 versus the trapped but not in a puzzle in a horror story of 7.
Yeah.
They
7 was straight up let's do Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets The Thing set in Resident Evil.
Oh, if they had just decided not to do 7, ripped it into a script and put it on the screen,
I'd be all about it.
Dope horror.
That would have been
movie.
a fucking awesome horror movie.
Unique body horror molded stuff, and the person drawn into a bad scene in the setting. It would have been such a good horror movie.
I wish we had got to do 7 in VR, because when we were doing it, it really seemed like that was what it was meant to, or how it was.
I mean, I'm sure the experience is even more intense like that for sure. I mean, we could do that whenever we're on the tail end of this thing. I think CJ was talking about potentially looking at it, but
even if we just did a couple episodes to feel the difference.
Yeah. Oh, I'm good on that. You can do that. I'm good.
I love scary games.
Well, I don't know. It's for me. I never got good at aiming an FPS with sticks on the controller.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like that was a real struggle because we were. I mean, at least early on, I didn't do every episode of Resident Evil 7, but it was a struggle to have enough ammo because it almost seemed like it really...
They were really strict with the ammo.
It was you got to get some headshots to conserve ammo.
Am I the FPS kid on the D-pad?
Probably.
I mean, I've played a bunch of FPS. I'm just not great at it.
I kick the shit out of Mass Effect, but I don't regularly
I'm
reach
talking
for FPS games.
Halo 2,
probably,
Halo
yeah.
3,
I played
ODST,
I played a bunch of
Battlefield Bad Company, Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think you're basically the FPS one.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I played a bunch of Call of Duty.
Is it third person? I guess it is third person. Yeah.
PC than on console.
I haven't played in a while, so
I played Black Ops on Xbox 360, and that was the last console game I played a bunch of.
Yeah,
maybe Battlefield Bad Company.
I didn't like when all of the shooters went down the battle royale mode. Instead of the team deathmatch. I like team deathmatch. It's just it's short games. They're quick and fun. And whatever.
Some week I want to take you guys into Apex Legends because it's free and see how we do as a trio and see.
It would be fun. Yeah. I don't think I'd do well.
Oh, probably not. It would take a lot of learning.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I could bark out commands and areas and stuff, but oh boy.
Oh, I noticed.
Yeah, taking you guys into Apex Legends, making you play an ARAM with me in League of Legends.
Yeah,
a bunch of those competitive games. I don't want to stream Apex all the time.
Right,
but I've got so many
once
games
in a
my
while.
pocket that could be fun.
I played a little bit of League. I hate League.
Did you ever play Overwatch?
I couldn't get into
like
League. I
Overwatch
tried
a
it.
lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Overwatch I'd be into.
We could do some Overwatch.
I'm pretty good with Zenyatta.
Steve doesn't like Apex Legends, son.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how much the game has changed since last time.
Zenyatta is the same.
Okay.
Put the orb on the bad guy, hit them in the head with the things, and then heal.
Yeah. He's just a solid offensive support.
Yes. He's the support. He's the healing support in Overwatch who lets you heal your team but also have an effect on the overall battle, where if you're oh no, my team is not very good.
On the plus side,
He's really
on the
good
plus
if
side,
his team's
James,
good.
Yes.
there is presumably no shortage of nude Thomas the Tank Engine mods for RE2 Remake.
God.
So I'm really horrified by some of the mods that people have come up with for that game.
Thomas
For the
Tank
record,
Engine always nude?
no, he's got his paint job.
Is he just nude colored?
Is that his skin, or maybe no? Is the iron his skin?
No. He gets a paint job.
Is this some kind of sex thing?
Doesn't really
I
matter.
don't know how you do a paint job.
I have seen a few with Thomas the Tank Engine with Mr. X's hat. Yep.
Oh yeah.
Also, one where as he approaches, you hear, "X gonna give it to you." Oh my God, that's a great. As opposed to the boots stepping around. You just hear X go and give it to you in the distance. You're like, oh no, he's coming.
I mean,
he's going to give it to me.
This is all a ripoff of the original Skyrim mod that changed the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah.
That was the
where
OG,
instead of
yeah.
hearing the like in the background, you hear
Yeah. And it just like crashes in. Yeah. Like, oh god.
and then you like the Doppler effect on him tooting over you. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh my
Skyrim
God.
on PC is the best.
Shining time. Fuck you.
Yes. Dead.
Yeah. Oh my God. Never played Dante's Inferno. The final boss is naked and hung, but he's in hell. He should have already done that.
Yeah. Also, Escape from Tarkov is maybe a little too intense.
I've heard that's good, but it sounds like you need to have a lot of information to be good at the game.
Escape from Tarkov is a very low TTK time to kill first-person shooter with a minimalist, practically non-existent display or like user interface. You aim the gun.
Yeah.
And then, like, you don't have, like, a health meter down here and a backpack and your current ammo and all this shit. It's, like, it's realism.
Isn't it kind of like a survival thing, too? You have to pick up a bunch of items and, like, craft things and or something like that?
Yeah, it's large. It's not really, like, a survivalism thing. It's more focused on, like, crafting better and better stuff, so when you heal, you're not like just doing a shitty bandage. You can do better stuff and like.
But it's still one of those you kill
guns.
a person, take all their stuff.
Yes.
And that,
But Apex is a little more forgiving because you have shields on top of health and like it's Point being,
I'd be into the like.
Could be fun.
Like
Some
those
random
can be
night.
fun for a while until I realize how bad I am compared to everyone else and get a little frustrated.
that's why it's a one night
And
thing.
it's
That was my problem with League of Legends. Was like I did a bunch of tutorials. It's like, all right, fine. Did some bot matches. Fine. I'm just like, this is getting boring. All right, I'm gonna do a real match, and I got fucking dump truck fuck bodied so hard, and immediately I was like, wow.
If you two jumped into an ARAM with like me, Nano, and Zim, you both would get bodied.
It was not flattering
I've
at all.
Passable enough.
Okay, so
like I know. I don't know off the top of my head any of the build trees.
sure.
But like I'll have like a second monitor up that's like this is how you want to build it if you want to go this route or tankier or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And like I'm like just proficient enough to like not be dead weight.
You might
like right on that line.
You might figure it out in ARAMs because classic with the 3 lanes, there's a whole metagame to worry about.
I've done
ARAM
ARAM
is just
ARAM is more fun.
5v5
I
one
just
lane.
in general have not been able to catch on to the MOBA genre. I just don't.
Yeah.
League is the only one I play, and I only play ARAM, which isn't technically League. It's not the like classic MOBA. It's just a 5v5.
We kind of loosely got into Resident Evil, but
I got friends who are like really into League and play it all the time, and I've tried like 3 or 4 times to really like
absorb it.
really try to get into it.
Yeah.
it never
Like-
hooked me.
Like I've spent hours and hours in that game. Well, I mean, 50 hours, 70 hours or something, which is comparatively nothing.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
But that's not just like trying it out for an hour or two and giving up. Like I've really tried to get into it and just couldn't do it. So
It's such a learning curve game.
I tried that with League of Legends, didn't work out. I tried that with Mouse Hunt also, and I couldn't really get into that either. Sarah still plays it and has basically since that game came out. Her and others, Sebs, who has passed by the screen a few times, is one of them.
Monster Hunter's a really fun game. I really enjoy that, and the multiplayer in Monster Hunter is really fun too.
I put down League for a solid 1.5 to 2 years. I did not open it up. And then I started playing again for some reason randomly.
Yeah.
So I don't
It
know
also
what it is that
seems
hooks
like
me, but
everyone in that game is so toxic.
yes, yes.
I don't know
they're
what it is about
they're either
because
toxic
it's free?
or
I
they're
don't know.
13 or 14-year-old kids
That's
at
the same
home
thing.
who beat you and are so excited. I mean,
When are they going to make
there's a difference between salty and shitty. Salty people are like, if I'm playing against a bunch of people my age who are adults and shouldn't be salty, but we beat them and they're like, you fucking suck, you're such a cheater, whatever, like, shitting on you.
Well,
for
I mean, I'm
whatever
sure
reason.
that like 90% of the people that I play against in League are younger than me.
Yes,
Like,
and then on the other side of the spectrum, 13 and 14-year-old kids who were just like, lol, easy.
Right,
like,
right.
did you guys see what I just posted? Like,
Yeah.
I memed them.
Pseudofish was feeding.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, oh,
just
man.
like, just
Yeah.
little kids trying to sound cool on the internet.
Yeah.
When are they going to make the crossover we all deserve? Monster Hunter XXX State of the Union.
I don't know what half of those things are.
I don't even know how you would do that.
I don't know either, but is it Ice Cube or Ice T? I don't know why I always mix them up. I think it's Ice Cube.
Ice Cube's usually in Ice Tea.
True. But you're never going to find Ice Cube in Ice T unless, I mean, maybe you will.
I put him in there all the time.
Oh, baby.
Ice Cube did a lot more stuff than Ice-T did.
I'm also thinking of the wrong person in both
Drugs?
cases. It's not Ice Cube or
No,
Ice T. It's it was the guy from the Friday movies.
That's Ice Cube.
Is that Ice Cube?
Yeah.
Holy
Cube.
shit. Oh my god, it is.
Cube's
Wait.
been on a ton of shit. He's been on
Yeah.
Law and Order for like
No, that was Ice-
72
That's Ice-T.
years.
That's Ice
Or,
T.
sorry.
That's
Okay,
why I was
then-
like, yeah, hang on. Oh my god.
I meant to say T has been in a bunch of stuff.
Ice-T.
And that's what got me to remember. I was like, okay, one of them's in Law and Order, and John Mulaney has a joke about it, and I'm pretty sure it's Ice T. So Ice Cube is the
Ice Cube was part of NWA.
yes, yep. I was like, for some reason, I thought you said NWO, and hence wrestling. I was like, I'm pretty sure he had nothing to do with wrestling. I was like, nope, NWA, not O.
Ice-T is more famous for Law
And
and
then
Order
there's
than anything else at this
LL
point.
Cool
Yeah.
J, who is definitely a JoJo character.
Oh man,
I gotta watch that show. I think just to understand.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah.
me and Dustin will eventually have something to bond over.
I have
if I
now
can.
watched almost all of the JoJo that exists in terms of anime. Sorry for another tangent to delay us further.
Well, we're in like tangent
Like-
territory right now.
Are we?
Short
do we have
version of Resident
anything?
Evil is that it's coming back very soon.
Yes, Resident Evil. Very
That's all we got
soon.
there.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
We do. I guess in the
When
a
did you
quick
guys
trip
start?
through Twitch stuff. A
8:10. So.
little after 8.
Oh, this is a long.
Yeah,
one.
we're probably gonna wrap it up fairly soon. But
Yeah,
Twitch
we've
stuff.
just been chatting and shooting the shit with everyone.
yeah.
You so
Well, I
multiplayer
came in
stuff,
a bit late, so.
multiplayer adventures. How's that going?
We're on to Twitch stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Multiplayer Sundays has been fun. Zomboid went pretty solidly, and then we moved right on to a break for a while.
Are you still doing Divinity?
Divinity is Wednesday with me and Dave.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
But multiplayer Sundays has kind of been in flux. We've done some Worms. We are
yeah.
considering Golf with Friends at some point. And also one of the goals of Multiplayer Sunday is to eventually have games that are like server-based and lots of people can play. So
That'd be
Mhm,
pretty
mhm.
cool.
something like a Terraria or a Starbound or Minecraft or something like that is the next goal. On the smaller scale, I want to do a Stardew Valley playthrough.
Mhm.
I'm not so. That game can take a long time, and the multiplayer is really fun and not something that I've done yet.
Sure.
So I want to experience the 4-player thing. Not sure how many episodes of that we'll do because to really 100% the game, it takes so much time.
Yeah,
And doing
there's
all
a
these
lot
things.
But
happening
you
there.
could do the first year is like the big.
If we did the first year and the goal wasn't to do the story for the game, it was to make as much money as we possibly could and be like, at the end of 1 year we had this,
Right,
or
right, yeah.
some smaller contained amount of goals. But so after we figure out that, or rather, while I'm figuring out that, we're kind of been alternating between Weeks Off and Worms Armageddon or
Nice.
possible Golf with Friends soon. But likely the next thing for Multiplayer Sunday will be a Terraria 4-player run with a couple people. And then after that, I think moving on to some kind of a server game. Like Zomboid could have been that game, but it also gets pretty hectic with more than 10 people. So something like Terraria, Starbound, Minecraft, like even a Risk of Rain server kind of thing.
I've never played Risk of Rain.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's like action
similar Terraria kind of thing.
It's action RPG roguelike. Very central on roguelike. Risk of Rain 2 is a bit of a different beast, but like, same idea, for larger servers and stuff. But yeah, something that everybody can kind of get into is the eventual goal after doing some Stardew.
Nice.
That's about it for multiplayer Sundays, so far as I understand.
Mondays are John's slot, and he just finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I believe is moving on this coming week to Trials of Mana. Not a lot to really say there because it's literally right in the groove between two games, but he'll be doing that, I think, at 7 p.m. Eastern, not 8 p.m. Eastern. So that'll be...
Yes.
I guess technically it's Trials of Mana Remake. But yeah, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. So yeah, that'll be a thing.
That's early for
it is.
Pacific time.
I think it's
7 p.m. is a fine time to start for Eastern time.
I think he's
or Pacific is early.
I think it's basically his work kind of format is kind of just set up in a way where you can do that easily. I think, I don't know for sure. Tuesday for me is Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, which this coming week is going to be the final stream for that. I believe, unless something really dramatic happens.
Is it midnight instead of 1?
That'll be...
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, nice. So that'll be...
Why you haven't been there at the end of my Divinity streams, Final Biscuit.
That'll be the last one for that. And it will be we're getting close to the end here.
So this is all...
We're finishing out the Twitch segment
before
we sign off. Yeah, it's been a long one.
Well, you gotta give the people their quota of me.
And Smiling Sarah.
Usually about a half hour before people get fed up. So.
Is that everybody's general tolerance of how much Ben they can handle?
I don't know if it's their tolerance of me or like my tolerance of groups of people.
Oh,
it goes both ways, perhaps. Yeah.
Because like after about a half hour of a large group of people, I start to power down, and then everyone's like, "Man, Ben got super lame after a half hour."
But then sometimes you hit that goofy Ben.
You hate everything in Pokemon.
I don't.
We discussed it.
we went there already.
Like I'm saying,
they are sad.
There's no reason to rehash this because I laid all of our feelings out, I think, pretty succinctly.
The talking about our feelings portion?
Yes, it took like 45 minutes of Pokemon discussion. It was worth it. I enjoyed it, and I think
there's good stuff in there.
But
I still enjoy playing Pokemon Sword. Are we doing Sword?
For show, yes.
Yes.
Sword. Pokemon.
I don't know what
device.
the difference between. It's I don't know.
largely
You
the
would
same.
never know if you just jumped into the middle of something which one it would be ever. But I just it's just the nature. We're getting back into it.
Yeah,
it's just the nature of like having 1,000 fucking Pokemon.
Well, that's kind of the.
Like,
it's just gonna
just
do that
more
over time.
generations.
Yeah.
Just once you get to that point, you're just scraping for ideas, and like a couple of them are gonna be good, but the majority are gonna be like basically rehashes of old ideas.
Yeah.
It's just like, what are you gonna do? That's why I wanted.
Besides, everyone knows turtles with cannons are cool.
So Kingdom Hearts.
Let's make another
always
turtle
have
with cannons.
been. Yeah.
I'm gonna
sorry,
swerve this car back onto the tracks for Kingdom
Sorry,
Hearts.
guys.
What were you saying about Kingdom Hearts 358?
358 Days Over 2 is gonna finish up this week.
Name.
Pokemon for
It is a
fuck's
dumb
sake.
name. It will finish up this week.
Ben, you're bad. You should feel bad.
It will be followed up by some stuff that I'm keeping under wraps until Tuesday. I'll let you guys know what's coming
Is that
after
when the
that.
secret game happens?
Oh my
There's
God.
always secret games, and no.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have a secret game.
I'm not even like an original 151 Grognard or anything.
Grognard. Is that
What?
a term?
It's a D&D term.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
From my understanding, it might have like wormed its way into other things, but it's a term for one of those people that's like curmudgeonly and only likes a D&D Grognard would be someone who thinks like first edition is the only edition worth playing.
Yeah,
like, it's
everything
only
else
No, I
is
get you. I get what you
derivative.
mean.
Okay, so 358 over 2.
yeah, that game will end, and then very shortly after, we're going to be covering the final mix-ish version of that. That's on the more recent,
version.
yeah, the more recent game discs, and then
Gen
we're going to be moving on to Birth by Sleep. We're going to be returning to weekend Kingdom Hearts content for a while.
Oh, it's actually a French word. I didn't know that. Oh.
Grognard.
See, real words.
Are they grognard?
That's what they're saying, yeah.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I didn't see that line in there.
That's literally what Golix is saying.
Right, I missed that line.
No, I'm just saying that you're agreeing. You're agreeing with each other.
Yep.
As long as it has Goofy, I'm into it.
I don't think it has Goofy.
No.
Well, fuck that.
Fuck this.
Anyway, that'll be a thing.
Yeah,
Bitches didn't call me.
Wednesday is Divinity. Talk about Divinity, Jeff.
Divinity's been a lot of fun with Dave.
You should let me play it with you.
We've been, yeah. I mean,
I'll take over one of the NPCs sometimes or something.
if you want to take Fane or Losa, this is definitely.
Oh, Fane is so good.
Fane is so good.
Well, how are you specking him?
Naturally. So he's Necro, Pyro, and then
That's spread a little oddly already.
I think he's his like natural. When you get him, you're like, "What do you want to do?" And he's like, "I'm kind of a wizard," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Okay." And
Cool.
we're
Where's
like,
that actual wizard?
Do the normal thing that you do.
Yeah.
So he has like some fire, some poison, some.
I mean, I can. It's whatever. I
You
don't
can
wanna, like,
you can
take
work
over,
with it. Yeah.
But I also honestly I only played through Act 2, so I didn't get very far.
Oh, okay. We're about to get out of Fort Joy. That's the last thing we did. Oh yeah. So
About to. You've done 2 streams in Fort Joy
Natural
already.
organic free range
yeah,
sex.
we kept saying that we were going to get out of Fort Joy, and then we're going to get out of Fort Joy, and we just stayed in fucking Fort Joy.
I was gonna say
for-
the last two and
Yeah.
a half of the 3 streams have been Fort Joy.
Yes.
It
Oh
takes a
no,
little while.
it's the intro long tutorial / intro area plot hook central prison thing.
Gotcha.
It's the whole island.
yeah.
Is Fort Joy.
And once you piece out, they're like, "You're an escaped prisoner. Fuck you." So you can't even talk to a lot of people in Fort Joy. So we had to choose what are we gonna do before we leave. But yeah, we've been. I spent a lot of time developing a layout for 2 cameras.
Oh yeah.
And chat,
yeah.
and also seeing all of the various menus and layouts of Divinity. And I
So
think
I would ruin that by joining.
no, there's still space for like.
I
I don't know if I could actually add a camera over the internet. I'd have to figure out how to do a VLC stream, but
you could.
The big issue with talking about Arrowverse is only Rick has watched any of it, and he watched what parts he watched like when was it 4 years ago?
Oh yeah. It's been a while at this point.
Oh,
Like no one has any actual information here when we're talking.
I'm all
about
second.
it. I just want to clarify that.
I appreciate the direct acknowledgement instead of letting it slide. Thank you.
Are we getting to the point where we just talk about what animes we've been watching?
No.
No.
Let's talk about Shokugeki no Soma.
Don't yell into the mic during a live stream.
So the last thing about Divinity is that it's been a lot of fun, and it's kind of chill, questy style stuff. Dave and I have been like having a lot of fun, and Dave especially has been having a lot of fun. He's like, looking forward to the stream and wants to, do he's been talking about trying to edit on his own truncated versions of the like 3-hour streams into like 15-minute chunkies and things like that.
Yeah.
But Divinity Original Sin 2 continues.
There's never enough male nudity. That's just a true
we
fact
have
of life.
a 4th mic set up.
You're no fun.
Yeah, but it's off camera, Sarah. Go
You're
off
also
camera.
talking directly full volume into
Sarah,
my ear.
Do you see this?
Why are you so little
Sarah,
fun?
do you see this space right here behind me?
Although I guess there is a little space carved out for someone.
It was
the
specifically
couch
designed for
spot.
that.
But anyway, okay, that's Wednesday. What are you doing with Thursday?
Thursday is Paper Mario: The Origami King, and it's going well, and I love it.
It's adorable.
And it's an awesome, amazing, lovely game, and it is yet another win for Switch entries into long-running franchises, and I love it, and I can't wait to play more of it.
If people want a video game with more male nudity in it, I recommend looking up
Dragon Age?
was it Sexy Businessman? No, wait, that's not the full title. Max Gentleman's Sexy Business. Yeah, that's the title.
You know what the best
Do you
game with male
have
nudity
recommendations?
is?
What?
And then
Dark
then it's like a
Souls.
point and click like
No Armor Run.
adventure-y like it's a point and click business manager simulator, but you're also absolutely ridiculous, and you can choose everything about how you look and your rival looks, and there's all these sexy business partners that you recruit, and as you gain relationship status with them, you get more and more naked photos of them.
Okay, so Steve is going to buy that game currently.
And there's a patch you can get to get the full
assume
nudity instead of the like fuzzed out nudity
Thank
if
you,
you
be
want
right
the
back.
like full nudity instead of fuzzed out. So, like, good stuff.
Anything else about Origami King, or is it just going?
That was pretty much just it.
Okay.
Friday, Sarah, talk about XCOM.
Yeah, how's XCOM going? XCOM?
Well, XCOM's great, and XCOM's good fun, but we haven't done it in like 3 or 4 weeks because the week that I would have done it, I forgot that it was there, and I accidentally scheduled taking care of my baby plants instead with some of my friends.
That happens all the time.
Not all the time.
No. I'm saying for me. I like have had a Wednesday stream for like 6 months now, and on like Wednesday at 2 p.m. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll go out and get. Oh no, shit! I have a stream.
Yeah, so it was like I streamed once, then it was my birthday, so I said I didn't want to stream. Then I accidentally scheduled something over the stream, and then we had Patreon Hangout tonight. So like, there's been a stream of XCOM 2, and we actually need to make the proper Patreon post to ask people to put in their new XCOM soldier designs because I stole as many as I could off of the previous post, but I also made a decent number of those already in XCOM 1, so I'm going to need some new entries.
Part of that game.
Yes.
Dude, you should see the Rick soldier we made. He's
Dressing.
all
I saw
pimped
that.
out
That was
in
cool.
D-pad colors.
Dressing your soldier is dope.
And I made
Undressing
the
your soldier, on the other hand.
Fido soldier again just because I loved the name jokes so much, but then I killed him really fast in the first game.
XCOM.
Then I think I made a Golux too.
It was like me killing Alley 50 in like the 6th episode of RimWorld, and they were one of the most excited people about RimWorld. I was like, oh, character for you, for sure.
I want to say Allie also had really bad luck in XCOM 1
Yes,
as well.
she did. And I made her yet another. I think I made her Revenant Duskblade character in this XCOM 2.
Once or twice.
No,
in one.
In 1, I made her a character and it died, and then I think I made a second character and that also died, and then she put in like a third one with all the full specs for XCOM 2, which is the one I've made now. Like,
hey, that's just how XCOM goes. Sometimes your mega stud star character protagonist just gets murked.
I mean, it doesn't help when I'm like not always paying attention because I'm like chatting with the stream and I'm like, let's just run around this corner because I'm having fun. Oh shit, found an alien squad.
And then I think Alex was the second one who got murked in RimWorld, and that was a bullshit headshot. Alley 50 was my fault because I was like, let me just put this landmine down right next to the ship so that when the enemies spawn and come out, they'll get blown up. But then for some reason, when you put a landmine down close enough to the ship, they spawn. So I had like just Alley 50 up there and 10 other colonists back behind, and they laid the landmine, and then all 3 of the horrifying beasts popped out, and they not only did they get shot by the beasts immediately, but one of them just ran over the landmine, and it worked. It went but unfortunately it also went with Alley 50 in the epicenter.
Oh no.
But Alex just got murked by a random headshot on a defense on Bad Idea Beach one time.
And yes, you did survive James Games, and you were the mech, the super cyber mech soldier with the railgun minigun arm. Yes, that was you. You kicked ass. You were very helpful. You were a good soldier.
Yep.
Oh man.
Swole Games did well in RimWorld too.
Any
Psychopath Chainsaw Gay Man.
That I think wraps up the Twitch stuff.
Minigun.
So do people have any further questions for us? We're gonna wrap this up very shortly, so get them in quick.
Are we on to the anime discussion part?
Yeah, so Shokugeki no Soma, good stuff. Little porny in those first 2 episodes, a little aggressively, but they tone it down.
Very.
Is that Food
Tone
Wars?
it down. Yeah,
Yeah, Food
Shokugeki
Wars.
no Soma is Food
I've
Wars.
watched the first 4 or 5 episodes of Food Wars now.
I warned him about the first 2,
show.
and he was like, Jesus, what?
It was, I mean, it was...
It's aggressively porny in those first 2 episodes within the first, 5 minutes.
Yeah,
a lot of anime
So,
overall.
watch them in private, maybe?
It's a hair away from hentai.
For that first initial pilot set of 2-3 episodes, it is very nearly
but
just
it's still
porn.
been good.
And Ratchet and Clank is good fun. I've played my way through almost every single one of those games.
Yeah,
And
we can do Ratchet and Clank when there are 2 consecutive weeks of XCOM 2.
And I've recently watched the first season of Tower of God and Rising of Shield Hero.
Nice.
I'm not familiar with either of those.
Tower of God's good stuff. I've read it on Webtoon, but I have not watched it much.
I will say my opinion of Tower of God so far is very good, very interesting, unique characters that I want to learn more about. The lore is.
What do you mean, black turtle and blue turtle?
Oh, the lore is very like. Well, you just don't. Nothing is really like given to you, so like I don't know what things are. I don't. Like,
I mean, a lot of that's just not revealed until later in the tower anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is fine, but it's a little jarring because it's so different. Just the way the universe works, and it's just like, here it is. This is where you are, and like you go to the next floor, and the floor is a completely different looking world. It's like I don't understand.
The tower's very weird. Yeah.
And then Rising of Shield Hero is like kind of fun, but also like maybe one of the worst written animes I've watched in a long time.
That's unfortunate.
So, don't
mark of quality.
Don't at me. I'm gonna be curmudgeonly about it.
As for Legends of Tomorrow, I'd be willing to at least try anything with Arthur Darvill in it. So yeah, I don't know. One of my very minor gripes with the CW shows is that the costume budget seems to get lower and lower with each progressive show. Every new show, the costume budget gets cut in half, and they reach a strange level of like plasticiness to it. That if these shows were airing on like old school SD like broadcast television, I think it'd look fine. But seeing it in HD is a little jarring.
Oh, James, it's a Parks and Recreation situation.
Oh, that's kind of a bummer.
You got to get through season 1 to get to the good stuff.
Oh man.
There's good moments in season 1, but the show itself doesn't really come together till later.
Well, final point, since we're just talking about anime now and chilling. Secret game that I'm forcing the D-pad to play. I'm really curious to see what all of you think of it. It's something that I'm sure nobody has heard of. I'm making everybody play a game that's like an hour to 2 hours long.
Yeah.
I mentioned it on the Discord and I was like, Rick, we're gonna do this, and he was just like, okay. So awesome. I'm really curious to see what everybody thinks of it. It'll be very different.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm looking forward to it. I always love a good mystery.
I've been so careful not to actually say the name of it or drop
it's
it.
tough.
Oh, yeah,
Keeping
yeah,
secrets
you
is
have no
tough.
idea what it is.
I don't even know.
Nope.
I know all the secrets.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know all the secrets because Rick tells them to me.
It's just Glover. No, it's just Final Fantasy Tactics, Ben.
Ben just came in the chair.
I would actually unironically love to do a Let's Play of Glover sometime. That's such a bizarre game. It's not a very good game,
no,
but it's
weird.
Interesting.
I would unironically hate playing Glover.
Yeah, it's clunky.
Yeah,
but yeah. That's the last thing for me. Is that about it?
I think that's about it. So I think that now that we're 2.25 hours in, let's wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for hanging out for this. We'll be back next month, Friday, August 28th, for our next Patreon Hangout. If you're watching this after the fact, you can check out patreon.com/dpadfm to find out info on how you can join this live and do other cool shit.
Next Patreon Hangout, I will definitely not be there because I'll be in the woods.
Oh, that's right. You're going to be out for
you
that
will
one.
be in the woods. It's true.
Yeah,
I'll be in the woods for a week. You're
going to be gone for a week. Then Sarah and I will be gone for a week, and then you'll be gone for the week after that, I think.
Week and a half, or yeah.
King of the D-pad.
All right. Well, catch you guys later. Have a good one,
everyone.
Bye.